Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Doghouse Racing League's Thursday night series brought to you by Group 6. Welcome for the very first time to the Group 6 Cup Series here on Thursday nights for Doghouse Racing League. My name is Hunter Foley, and I'm absolutely delighted to be bringing you this race here tonight at Daytona Motor Speedway alongside my broadcasting partner and partner in crime, Jonathan Smith. Jonathan, you want to tell us a little bit how you're feeling, what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, I'm excited for a new season. Excited for this to get started. This is exciting for us as well because this is our first really official broadcast that we have going here. So could be some kinks. Focusing on the drivers, there also could be some kinks as these guys start a new season here and trying to figure out these open setups here at Daytona, stay in the draft, and really try to find a win here at the Clash tonight.
Definitely going to be interesting to see how this race goes down as we have a big mix of drivers that are familiar and veterans of the Doghouse Racing League, and then we have some newcomers here with us this evening, so this should be exciting to watch go down. First thing we want to do, make sure that we treat them right and make sure that they know how much we love them and appreciate them for helping us keep this thing going, is our sponsors. As mentioned earlier, this is the Group 6 Cup Series of the Doghouse Racing League. Group 6 will be our series sponsor for the remainder of this season, so we're very thankful to them. It's first things first. Shout out to them. If you are looking to start a brand or just rev up your brand's potential, be sure to get with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse Racing season as your creative marketing powerhouse. They are here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. Be sure you discover more at group6inc.com. That is GROUP, the number 6, INC.com. We're also brought to you tonight by Shoney's. Doghouse Racing League is very proud to be brought to you by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Be sure you stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try out their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home an entire strawberry pie. That's a deal that I have not heard in a while, John, I have to be honest with you. Shoney's, delicious food, friendly service since 1947.
Yeah, the strawberry pie thing sounds pretty appealing.
Gotta say, last time I went to a Shoney's in Cloverdale, Virginia, there was no strawberry pie there waiting for me. So they have added that in, and what a benefit that is.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to cycle through everybody right now. See who's out in the track. We still have about 3 minutes left of practice here. Wait to see if we could try to grab some interviews if it time permits. I'm not sure if we're going to have time to do so.
And just so everyone knows, what we are going to be looking at this evening is here in the next couple minutes, we are going to be starting qualifying. Once these guys get done out here practicing, we are going to be having a heat race starting immediately after qualifying for 20 laps. We're going to have a second heat race immediately following that one, also at 20 laps. And then following that, we will have our feature race of the evening, which will last for 50 laps. And John, I know we were talking a little bit earlier about how we have a lot of veterans of the Doghouse Racing League, and we also have some newcomers here. I see we're riding along here with Brian Messer.
Yeah, a lot of new guys coming into the league. Brian Messer is going to be one of them. Another fast guy you're going to see is Nick Alford coming around the track here in that number 15 from Norfolk, Virginia. Pretty fast last week when we were doing or Tuesday night when we were doing our preseason race for the Gym 4 cars. So excited to see what he can do here at Daytona.
He really was. He wants to make sure that everyone knows to do it for Dale, so I can't argue with him there. Right along here at the front of this little practice pack here, we do have Jamie Horn. Jamie Horn, one of the veterans of the Doghouse Racing League, knowing that he is one of the fastest guys that's been out here. Like I said, he is a veteran of this league. He knows how to run fast. And not only just run fast, but he's also one of the best that I've seen out here at saving tires as well. He is just wonderful as far as that goes. And it's going to be exciting to see him as this season goes on. And another driver we have out here, Andrew St. Core, another veteran of the Doghouse Racing League. It looks like he's bringing it down pit road here now. Seen such great improvement out of Andrew here over the last, as the end of the season was coming last season. And as we come into this season, he has looked fast. He has looked in control. We're really excited to see where he ends up as this season goes on.
Yeah, it looks like qualifying is about to wind down here. Let me get some weather pulled up here so we can see tonight what's going on. It's going to be a night race under the lights here at Daytona. 68 degrees. Track temp's going to be about 70 degrees. Partly cloudy, and the humidity is just a little bit higher than what I think a lot of people would like. So this might affect some of their fuel saving strategy as they go around here at Daytona.
And how is the? I know that the temperature itself is maybe a little bit cooler than some of these guys have been used to running here at Daytona, but the humidity being that high, how is that going to affect them real time out on the track?
So it has a lot to do with the density of the air and how thick it is. So if it's thicker, the car is going to run a little bit hotter. Some of these guys, you're going to see that these guys are going to try to stay in the draft and save some fuel along the way. And by doing so, you might be able to buy yourself 2 to 3 laps extra than what the guy out in front would do. But with this humidity being like this, it might be a little tougher to do that.
It's going to be exciting to see how that starts playing out. And especially as we work through these heat races, that track's going to be getting warmer and warmer going into that final feature race after the 2 heats. So these guys are going to be warmed up and they're going to be comfortable inside their car. It's going to be interesting to see how the track itself changes. Getting on board here with Brian Messer as he comes out onto the track for his qualifying run. Yet a newcomer to the Doghouse Racing League this year, but has looked fast so far.
Yeah, he's going to come out here and try to make a first lap's not going to really be a fast one. He's really banking on the second one to be fast for him. Shift over to Stephen Bonomo, who just came out the track as well.
Stephen Bonomo, another longtime member of the Doghouse Racing League. Been really fast here when we've been watching him here recently. He's going to be one of those guys to look out for as this season goes on for sure. Always improving, always looking on how he can improve that car and his own skills. Been able to see a huge improvement out of him as these seasons have gone on. Exciting to see where he's going to end up. Now, John, I know you mentioned that while we were going into the qualifying here, that the first lap wasn't going to matter so much. Is that going to be a strategy you see most of these guys using for qualifying, where they use that the first qualifying lap to be a warm up, and then they really try to burn it down on that second lap? Or do some guys just go out there and give it all they got and just see what happens?
Yeah, so your goal is to get as many RPMs out of your qualifying as possible. So you'll see a lot of these guys like Zach Tyler here. He's going to be running the high side for his first lap, trying to stay high and utilize as much track as he can for that first full lap. And then the second lap, he'll drop down to the bottom like he is here, and then ride that inside.
Those driving lanes are going to be another thing to watch out for as this race goes on. Daytona being as big as it is and so heavily influenced by the draft, you're going to see guys that either because of the way they have their car set up or because of the way that they like to drive and feel the most comfortable are going to be trying primarily to stick to the high side or the low side. And which side is faster is really going to depend on the track, and it's going to change as this race goes on.
Yeah, so this track is 2.5 miles is what they have it listed as. However, if you measure the yellow line, it is actually 2.47 miles if you stay on the inside of the track. If you stay on the outside near the wall, it's going to be about 2.51 miles. So you're saving about 0.04 miles by staying on the inside. However, that high side is going to be much, much faster coming onto the straightaways, but the corners, the low side is going to you'll see it a lot faster.
We just saw Zachary Tyler there bring home the current #1 pole position. We were also on board Brian Dixon there a few minutes ago, who was in 8th. Looks like he's gotten bumped down to 9th now. And then finishing up his qualifying run here, we see Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan Jennings is going to be one of the really interesting stories here for this season. Looks like he's qualified in 7th position going in here. Jonathan Jennings is going to be one of those guys to watch with a new racing team this year. Huge veteran of the Doghouse Racing League and a many time winner here and championship winner. It's going to be exciting to see how his season goes forward as we jump over on board with Tyler Millette.
It looks like Tyler Millette's going to finish up his lap here. He's going to be starting P11, but Kevin Thompson took the pole there, followed by Gary Clune, Andrew St. Cour right behind him. St. Cour and Thompson are teammates, and those guys work very well together here at this track. Those are two guys that will lock up together and take off. One of the strategies you might see other people play here is try to split those guys and break them up just a bit.
We do see newcomer Zachary Tyler, who was holding the pole position there for a while, in fourth. We find Jamie Horn in fifth. I believe his name is Shane Messer, is in the sixth position. We have Jonathan Jennings in the seventh position, Justin McMahon in the eighth, Daniel Wilkerson, president and owner and CEO of the Doghouse Racing League, in the ninth spot, and Adam Thompson in 10th.
Yeah,
and as we are going through these qualifying numbers here, one of the things that is important to note, where you qualify at Daytona has some bearing, of course, obviously depending on your strategy for how you want to run this race. But the way the draft is here, the way that things can change here, trying to avoid the big wrecks that tend to happen here, you could be in 18th on one lap, and you could be in the top 5 in the next lap. So it's all in how you want to play it.
Yeah, we're getting ready to start off this first heat race here, waiting for everybody to grid up. So I'm trying to find out on the left side of your screen here, you're going to see who's going to exactly be in that heat race. I apologize, some people have just their team name up there. I'll try to keep you updated on who those guys are. The number 12 car is going to be Andrew St. Cour. The number 3 car is going to be Jonathan Jennings. I'm sorry, the 25 car in third place is Jonathan Jennings. Number 9 car is going to be Stephen Bonomo. He's going to be starting 16th in this heat. And in the 19 car, starting in 17th, will be Nicholas Atwood.
And we will try to keep as good a track on that as we can this evening for everyone tuning in. Looks like we have 13 viewers on the YouTube right now. Thanks to everyone for joining with us. We do ask for patience as we try to figure this whole thing out. We want to make sure that we are bringing the highest quality broadcast here to everyone tuning in. John is a member of the Doghouse Racing League, and I've been a longtime viewer and a longtime fan, and so it is incredibly exciting for us to be able to be up here in the booth bringing everyone these races. Obviously going to have to work out some kinks as we go, so please feel free to leave a comment and let us know what you think and give us any constructive feedback that you may run across. But also, while you're at it, please do feel free to give us a like and subscribe to the channel as well, as we are going to be here for the rest of the season, bringing you these exciting races on Thursday nights, and couldn't be more excited for the future.
I'm excited for this first night to start off with a no point race here. Just good old clash, 2 heat races. Let's see who's brought it to the table. And we'll see where it goes. Let's check out where we're going to be starting at. If I can pull up this heat race. This is actually going to be the qualifying results for everybody.
Again, we see that we have Kevin Thompson starting in that first position, Gary Clune in second. Andrew St. Cour is your third, Zachary Tyler, newcomer to the league, in fourth.
That's going to be for the feature, but for this heat race, we're going to have Andrew St. Cour first. Jamie Horn is going to be second. Jonathan Jennings coming third. Daniel Wilkerson fourth. Tyler Millette fifth. Kermit Henney for sixth. Jeffrey Engel seventh. Chris Leftwich 8th. Eric Anderson 9th. Stephen Woods going to round out that top 10 there. Tony Martin behind him in 11th. Kevin Brown 12th. Stephen Bonomo 13. Bill Gentry 14. Bill Hull 15. Nicholas Atwood 16. Mark Dumont 17. Cameron King 18. And Joe McKnight 19th.
I know these guys have to be excited to get out there and get this season started, as we're on board here with Jeffrey Engel from Lincolnton, North Carolina, and look at Daniel Wilkerson there in front of him out of Saraland, Alabama.
Yeah, Daniel Wilkerson, been running with this league for a long time. He's league admin, does a lot of work, a lot of good work. He's put together a really good league here, and I'm excited to see the season he's got put together for us.
It's going to be really exciting to see. Daniel does such a great job making sure that everyone stays in line, but also that it's good and hard and fast racing. Speaking of good, hard, and fast racing, we are coming to the green here for the very first time in this season. Green flag, go, 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 go.
It looks like we got somebody blinking out right now. Ooh, 18 car, did not see him. I believe that might be Tyler Millette. Yep, the 94 Tyler Millette there. Andrew St. Core is going to jump out here to the front, followed by Jonathan Jennings right behind him. Then behind him we have Jamie Horn's going to try to push into. Horn and Jonathan Jennings used to be teammates last season. This season, Jennings switching over to the Shoney's race team. So excited to see how that's going to play out. These guys are still going to be keen to working together.
And we do have Jamie Horn behind him still with Elite Southern Motorsports. So it's going to be exciting to see how that whole dynamic plays out. We've got Daniel Wilkerson behind him and Tyler Millette behind him, bringing up our top 5 here as we come into this first turn.
Yeah, these guys are just going to kind of space out for the first few laps. Take it easy. You don't want to mess anything up right now. Not this early. And then last 5 to go, you'll probably see them start really going for it. See what they can get out of it.
One of the things about Daytona is things that can change so quickly. As this track heats up, you're not going to really be able to predict so much how the top line is going to run or how that bottom line is going to run, or if you're going to be able to even jump out and start those third lanes that we see these drivers starting to do later in the races. And they may or may not be able to hold any heat, just depending on how that track is.
Trying to shift to this 3 wide going on back here. We've got Stephen Bonomo on the top side of Kevin Brown, Mark Dumont around them. That at 19 is Nicholas Atwood. Dumont's going underneath in the 14 car. He's going to make a pass.
And we unfortunately saw that 33 car there get shuffled of Kevin Brown. He just got stuck in that middle lane without any help.
Yeah, he's going to fall in line here. Bill Hull's going to drop in right behind him. Hopefully they can get a good push and really start moving back up towards the front. You really have to stay with the pack here tonight to maintain.
And even in that situation that he finds himself in, it's not like he's out of the race by any means. As long as he has that help and they're able to work together, they can work their way back into one of these main packs. It's when you find yourself back behind everyone by yourself that you're going to start having a problem.
Yeah, I saw these guys pushing around here too just a second ago. Eric Anderson from Panama City, Florida. Not a long drive for him to get here. Well, I guess Panama City to Daytona actually doesn't look like on the map, but it's might be like a good 6-hour drive. You think?
John, let's be honest with each other. Everything in Florida is a long drive. Driving through that state purgatory.
I'd love to be there though. Here the weather's a lot warmer than it is here.
I would imagine. We're broadcasting to you tonight out of the Carolinas, where it has been unreasonably cold these past couple of weeks, and we are not happy about it. So we are very jealous of you, Eric Anderson, down there in Florida, as he's up here trying to make a run on Kermit Henney.
We had a good little warm streak here, but I think it's going to cool back down with that good old East Coast weather. Speaking of East Coast, Kermit Henney from Virginia, newcomer to the league this year. He's going to be a rookie. A lot of rookies here. I know some of them, and I've seen a few of them race over the past few days. But I think it's going to be a really good season, very competitive. A lot of good newcomers too.
One of the people to definitely keep an eye on out of those newcomers is Kermit Henney. I've seen him running near the front in all of the practice races that we've run so far this season, and obviously out of Virginia, so got to have some hometown pride there for my friend there. And a little bit ironic, he is running that green car being named Kermit, so got to love a little bit of irony.
I just saw Nicholas Atwood make a jump down to the bottom there. He's going to get behind Tyler Millette, trying to squeeze in, push his way. And you are trying to gain track position here, but at the same time, you're really trying to keep your nose clean. You can't finish a race if it don't have tires underneath it, so you really got to protect your car for the amount of laps. Oh, that's not good. That's Eric
We have
Anderson.
someone in the wall. We have someone in the wall.
Looks like
Oh, and the 2 car flying up into the wall, and the 4's down on the apron.
that's gonna be Bill Gentry there from Roxborough, North Carolina. Let's take a second here and try to get some replays together for you.
Unfortunate to see that. It seemed like the race was running very competitive and tight there for a while. So let's see if we can figure out here what actually ended up happening to cause that. And while moving over to our replay, we have Zachary Tyler in the comments saying it snowed in Panama City a week or so ago, and I believe you're correct. And it seems like it might be the end of times coming, my friend. I've never seen snow in Florida before. Yeah, like I said, I am out of North Carolina at these day and times, but I'm originally from Virginia, born in Covington, Virginia, raised in Bedford for the primary part of my life here, as we're able to actually go over this replay.
It's like Eric Anderson just got somebody in the back of him. Not much you can do there in that situation. Just kind of the accordion. This is going to be Bill Gentry here, looking at his view. He tries to avoid it, just nowhere to go. That's just some of that Daytona luck that you get here.
As these cars start to stack up and you're going so fast, your time to react is so slim. It's unfortunate to see Bill's looked like he was running pretty well out here tonight. Nick Alford again in the comments, 757. 757, that's going to be out towards the coast,
That's
I
for
believe.
Virginia
Or is that
Beach
going to be
area.
more, or is that going to be Nova?
That's Virginia Beach. I'm pretty familiar with that area. Love the good
I was a
757.
540 man myself.
Coming back around, we're single file right now. I got Andrew St. Cyr who's going to be leading this thing. Jonathan Jennings is going to be right behind him. Jamie Horn coming in third right now. Kermit Henney sitting P4. Daniel Wilkerson right behind him with that green 28 car. That's a new wrap for him. Sticking with the classic wraps, going to be Tyler Millette right behind him, that 94 Rogue Machine. Nicholas Atwood is going to be in 7th place. He's moved up 10 spots tonight. He's been pushing.
Currently going to be our biggest mover for the evening, I believe.
He is. Jeffrey Engel, number 89 car. Stephen Bonomo, who has moved up 7 spots as well. That's not a new scheme for Stephen, but I believe it's a new colors for him. It might be a new wrap too. Still repping the Advent Health car there. Chris Leftwich following in behind Stephen Bonomo. We got Stephen Wood sitting in 11th. Bill Hull from Spartanburg, South Carolina. He's going to be in 12th place, followed by Mark Dumont, Kevin Brown, who just got out of that accident there, Joe McKnight, and then Tony Martin in the blue too. Showing that Eric Anderson is out here on the track somewhere. Let's see if we can find him.
So he's trying to catch up to the back of that pack there, and then we do have Bill Gentry still on pit road, and King has unfortunately called himself out of this race for the night.
Looks like we're about to go double file here. The lights on the pace car are off. Going green one more time around this 2.5 mile track.
With 12 to go, these guys don't have to worry about pitting. They just have to worry about going fast, going left, and not ending up in the air. One of the things that'll be very interesting to watch is to see how these driver strategies change as we move through these heat races and then move into the longer, more intense final race where we'll have all these drivers out on the track. It's going to be very interesting to see how everyone makes those adjustments after already being out here for the heat.
Looks like we're about to go back green here. As soon as we get off pace car off the track. Coming around turn 3 and 4.
Eric Anderson was able to catch up to the pack there at the back, so we are all lined up. Double file, ready to get this thing back going here as the pace car makes its final turn before we get these guys back going again.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this outside lane is going to do. I think they're going to push really strong here. Got a good group of guys over there. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jamie Horn pop up behind that 25 car, Jonathan Jennings as well.
See if the former teammates are still looking to work together. That high lines looked like it started picking up some heat as this race has gone on. Let's see what happens as we come into the green here.
All right, pace car is off. Our starter's got the flag in the air, ready to drop it. And we're back green.
Here we go back to green. Huge push from Jamie Horn onto Andrew St. Cyr there in the first spot.
They're coming around, still stacked too wide here. Eric Anderson caught back up, hanging there in the back. He's going to look to make some moves here in a second.
Jonathan Jennings, I believe, still at the front of that pack on the top lane there.
That is him. They've got a really good push over there, too.
They do. Looks like he has the newcomer Kermit Henney behind him, I believe.
Yep, Kermit Henney followed on that line. It's going to be Tyler Millette. It looks like everybody's still trying to keep their nose clean here. Not a lot of pushing going on yet. But I think things will heat up in a second. Kermit Henney gives Jennings a good push. That's going to move that outside line up.
Huge push by Kermit Henney as we come into this turn here, pushing Jonathan Jennings to the front.
Don't you miss that sound all winter? It's just a great sound to hear.
Directly into my veins. Kermit Henney dropping down on that low lane to take the first position away from both Jonathan Jennings and Andrew St. Cyr. Looks like Andrew might be wanting to get back up to that top lane to battle Kermit for that first spot.
Yeah, not a bad move to do here in a heat race. You're not really trying to save fuel right now. In the main feature, you might want to save some fuel. I believe they're only going to be able to stretch maybe about 20 laps out of these cars, or 40 laps out of these cars before it's all said and done, out of a 50-lap feature. So they will have to pit one time tonight during the feature race. I don't expect anybody to take tires in that pit stop, but just a little splash of fuel and go. But for these heat races, no tires, no fuel, just run it to the end.
Go fast and go left, young men. Go fast and go left. Andrew St. Cyr still here in that second spot. Kermit Henney still leading this race. Jamie Horn going back up to the top side, looking to try to challenge. And we have a car sliding down on the bottom of the track.
That's Atwood around. And he is cut in the grass right now.
That was a lot of grass cut right there.
Hey, we appreciate him doing that. And we can throw up our John Deere right here. Flash back up here to Jamie Horn. It's taking the lead. On the outside, Tyler Millette, Jonathan Jennings right behind Jamie Horn, giving him that old teammate push.
Seeming like those old teammates are still working together well. We have that top lane losing a little bit of gas here as the bottom lane just has a lot more drivers stacked up on it. Looks like 3 guys stacked up there on the top. Almost looks like they might be trying to shuffle down. Maybe you can take this thing single file as we come in here with 8 to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're working together now, but let's wait till about the last lap and see if they work together then. I don't know if it's going to be the same way.
Somehow I doubt it.
I'm going to hop on board with Jonathan Jennings here just to show you what he's seeing right now, and it's not much except for a lot of Chevy.
And that's going to be the thing if you're on board with most of these drivers here in Daytona. It's hard to actually imagine unless you're behind the wheel of how difficult racing here can be. You might think this one might be one of the easier tracks, as it is a lot larger, a lot longer, and but when you're spending the pretty much entirety of the race with another driver's sponsor logo right in your windshield, it gets a lot more difficult. It's hard to read from the outside. You get so concentrated on the guy in front of you, making sure that you maintain that draft, that it's hard maybe sometimes to see what's going on around you.
Yeah, I want to flash back here to Bill Hull. He's up 8 spots tonight, the newcomer from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Very local to me and you. He is up 8 spots, started 18th, now he's up into 10th spot. Right behind Stephen Wood, also another newcomer. And he's looking to increase his position for the feature tonight.
And even as you say that, there's a longtime veteran there in Leftwich behind them that is looking to scrooch right back up there onto the back of Hull and get his race moving.
Another big mover tonight is going to be Steven Bonomo. He's up here in the middle of the pack right now. I think he's just going to be cruising pretty content where he's at for the next probably lap or two. And then he's going to want to start to make some moves. The trouble here is if you make a move by yourself, you might get hung out to dry and you're going to drop all the way to the back.
And that's going to be so tough to read here in a heat race like this, where even though you have 5 to go, normally at Daytona, between 5 and 3 to go is when you're really going to see these guys start to move and try to make their push to the front. But when you're primarily single file like this, all it takes is someone to try to start the issue, and you never know who's going to be the one to actually do it.
If I had a bet on anybody, I believe St. Cour would be the one. St. Cour is a veteran. He knows the physics behind it, knows about the side draft, and he really knows how to utilize the side draft to make his way up to the front. I would not be surprised to see him be the one to make a move here. Probably in the next 3 laps.
And again, St. Cour, a veteran of this league, and he has Daniel Wilkerson behind him, who is also a veteran of this league. So curious to see if maybe those guys are able to work together and pull something here out of their hats to get to the front. You do see another couple of cars a little farther back, I believe around the 11th or 12th spot, that we're running that top line. But they're just going to be a little too far back for these guys in front to have to rely on that to make their way to the front.
Yeah, I'm looking right here at Kevin Brown. He's trying to make a move. You can't do much when you're single file here unless somebody goes with you. So he's waiting for somebody to jump out as well with him, or he's going to either initiate it. But they just can't get anything going.
So he does have one friend out there that's willing to help him, but I don't know if they've quite found their sync yet, and so it's not really moving forward that much. As I say that, it looks like they are moving up a little bit here.
Yeah, that outside line is starting to push. Brown's going to have to jump in line at some point here to try to hang on. Luckily, the 42 of Stephen Wood's going to come down and help him out a little bit. Going back to the leader, they've got a comfortably spaced lead right now. At least for now for Daytona, I should say. Not really pushing, not really being aggressive. But as we know for Daytona, this is where the action's about to start right here.
2 to go. We're about to see the action really get started here. See if any of these guys want to make a push to the front. Obviously, with a heat race like this, it is going to be more relative to your position in the main race. But these guys are all competitive, and you know that they're still out here racing to win.
Yeah, and realistically, if you're Jonathan Jennings right now, or even Kermit Henney, you know that you can make a pass or attempt to make a pass right now, and hopefully somebody will go. But you really want to save that for the last lap, the last few turns to try to make your move. Just because if you follow the draft or something happens, it will send you to the back.
It's the unfortunate part about it being single file here is that
Somebody's
you
in the
never know
wall.
what's really going to happen.
Tony
Oh, and
Martin's
things are
around.
going crazy here on the last lap. Oh, no.
That's Tony Martin. Let's catch up to the front and see what happens.
Tony Martin's around. We have Kermit Henney still in third, Jonathan Jennings in second, and Jamie Horn here in first as we are coming down to the checkered flag.
I'm expecting him to jump out anytime now. He might not have the run to do it. Oh, if he's not close enough, that bubble's going to hurt him. He didn't get it. Looks like Jamie Horn is going
Coming
to take
down
the
here to
lead,
the checkered flag.
take the win here.
Jamie Horn will take the win. Jonathan Jennings coming home in second place. Henny in the 18 car bringing up our third position. Andrew St. Core coming home in fourth. Daniel Wilkerson in fifth.
Stephen Bonomo
Stephen
going to be
Bonomo
sixth.
in the sixth position. Eric Anderson coming home seventh. What a great run back from him. Coming back in seventh. Chris Leftwich coming home in the eighth spot. Got Tyler Millette in ninth. Back to Stephen Wood here in the 10th spot. And that is your top 10 for that heat race.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for that heat race. We're about to start the next heat race almost immediately here. They're going to start gritting up now. Congrats to Jamie Horn. He's going to start on the pole here tonight.
John, it's going to be a packed out race there tonight. How many people did we have run these heat races total? I believe it was 36 or 37.
This one's going to have, looks like 18 total grid up, and I believe the last one had 18 or 19 as well. 19. So we're right at 40.
Definitely going to be exciting to see how all these guys run out here in the second heat.
And now we're taking off here. Quick little intermission here.
And as these guys are getting out here onto the track, it is, again, with the Doghouse Racing League, you are going to be seeing a mix of guys out here that have been in the league for a pretty good amount of time, and you're going to have a lot of newcomers here. You do have Brian Messer and Zachary Tyler as your 1 and 2 for this heat race, who are both newcomers to the league. Immediately followed by Adam Thompson and Justin McMahon, who have both been around for a while.
Somebody I want to jump to here. We got coming into the booth, Justin McMahon driving the 24 car for Group 6. Justin, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
We're just working out the kinks as we go, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
How was practice tonight? How you feeling about the car, the track?
Oh, not bad. Car feels pretty good. There's a little bit of wind that we were kind of dealing with in practice and qualifying that was kind of slowing us down. But other than that, it feels pretty good. I think we'll be good to go, hopefully, here.
What do you think your keys to success are here tonight?
Stay out of trouble. Try to stay near the front, I think, and manage the pushes that we get and manage the pushes that we give.
Absolutely. You can throw somebody off in a second here with that. I noticed last season you got 1 win last season and had, I believe, 8 podiums, if I'm looking at this right.
Yeah, it was a pretty good season.
Finishing 5th in the points. How are you looking to improve on that this season?
We'll see how it goes. I just try to manage my stuff and just kind of finish up front where I can and just manage everything.
All right, we're about to go green here. You got anybody you want to plug before I let you go?
Group 6 on the car for the sponsor, and Daniel and you guys for doing everything here for the league.
All right, man. I'll let you get back to it. Good luck out there.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
That was Justin McMahon driving that 24 car. New thing we're trying now is trying to do some interviews during the race. Don't want to take up too much of these guys' time. Don't want to distract them from what's going on. I know this is a lot of input and a lot of looking around and awareness, so we don't want to take away from that. But definitely that last thing you said, shout out to Group 6 for being our Cup Series sponsor this season. These sponsors really help out the league. If you have a business and looking to help out the league or want to get involved, give Daniel Wilkerson a shout.
Absolutely. Always welcome to take on new sponsors for the league. These guys are all bootstrapping it, and it is very encouraging to have businesses or companies that want to get involved and work with us and work with this league to make sure that these guys are still able to be out here and race and still have a good time actually have something to look forward to at the end of the season. We do have Andrew St. Core in the comments here. Why is my name not showing up during the broadcast? It's just showing the team name. Andrew, that is a bug with the software that we are currently trying to work out. That will be fixed, hopefully, by the next race. That's why we're trying to make sure that we're cutting in here on the actual driver's names where we're sure that it shows up. But if you look over on the side of the screen and you just see a 3-letter thing there, that is just their team name. And so we'll try to make sure we give those guys some extra space and shout outs to make sure that anyone back home that's supporting them knows who they are rooting for.
And Adam Thompson's going to be leading this. Big push from Justin McMahon right there. Not enough to get him going, though. You got to really be careful when you give these pushes. If you don't line them up just right, you can really throw it off. Another thing that really comes into play that you don't see as a spectator is the aero blocking. Not really aero blocking, but if you're going to move your car behind somebody and go up just above their left quarter panel, from the back side, it's going to make your car pretty tight going around these corners. And if you get too close like Justin McMahon's doing here and swipe across, you can actually get the car in front of you loose. Which I'm not saying to do, but is a tactic that other people use to cause accidents.
Far be it from us up here in the booth to tell anyone how to run their race. Everyone's going out here about it differently. You're going to see a huge mix tonight of very aggressive drivers and drivers that are a little bit less aggressive, maybe sit back a little bit further and wait for the race to come to them. It was actually going to be one of the things I was going to actually say is kind of a key to the race is if you're going to get out front and that's how you want to run it, just make sure that you stay there, make sure you don't slide too far back, and try to qualify as high as you can, obviously. And if you are going to be one of those drivers that is sitting a little bit further towards the back, absolutely nothing wrong with that. As we were saying earlier, with Daytona, you can go from dead last place into the top 5 in a lap. It just depends on if you have the people behind you running it with you. And you just have to make sure that you have people back there that want to run with you, good teammates to link up with, and not get caught in the accidents as they start to happen.
Yeah, I was going to flash over here to Brian Dixon. He was our winner at Daytona last season. Him and that Bowie Esports team, really fast. They were all working together very well all night. I remember I tried to split them up, and it did not work. They got right back around me, so my strategy went straight out the window. But yeah, excited to see what he does this year. The whole team's very fast drivers, all very competitive. And speaking of sponsors, I do want to get back here to Mike Lefwich, driving that Shoney's car there, Shoney's Chevy, followed by his teammate Chris Simon in the 21 car, also driving the Shoney's car. Shoney's going to be our presenting sponsor for the series. They've been a long-time sponsor with Doghouse. I appreciate what they do, and we're always giving them the support for the league.
Shoney's has been out here showing love the Doghouse Racing League for a long time, and one of those things I have to say with Shoney's, it's a nostalgic thing for a kid that grew up in the southern part of the United States. You could always know that you could go to Shoney's, and I just remember as a young child being fascinated with it being the one restaurant that I could go to and I could eat as much bacon as I wanted, and no one would say anything to me.
So I'm checking on the stream here. I'm not sure why it's getting fuzzy, if that's a me issue or if that's as in me watching the stream or me showing the stream.
It's looking okay to me on my end, as we do still have Adam Thompson and Justin McMahon here running the 1 and 2 spot. And you see Andrew St. Core again in the comments. Appreciate it. And you guys are doing a good job, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. You did a great job in that heat as well. And this might be a great time. Well, we can do it after the heat race if you like to, but we got to make our predictions for the night.
We do have to make our predictions for the night. And obviously it's going to be a little funny to see how this all ends up going as these other heat races square out. But I think it's going to be super interesting if I'm going to kind of play both sides here. I think it's going to be super interesting to see the Jamie Horn and Jonathan Jennings dynamic. Both of those guys looked really, really fast in that first heat race. And I'm going to be interested to see if they're working together, if they're running against each other. But both of them look really fast. I think you're going to see both of them near the front. And then obviously Adam Thompson, been leading this heat race, or in the top 5 of this heat race since the very beginning. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. If I was going to have to throw some currency at it, I'll take Jamie Horn for the evening.
My pick was going to be Andrew St. Cyr. And I think I'll take your money on that. Uh-oh, Josh Kelly drops down in front of Adam Thompson. Adam lets him know he's there.
A little bit loose there, looking like that Air Force car still trying to get back in line up there on that top lane.
Oh, I know what that was. That wasn't it's not a dirty move, but if you drop down in front of me, I'm going to let you know you're there. Let you know I'm right here behind you. Most drivers give one of those. You don't get a second one. Uh-oh, looks like Gary Mijo's a little loose here on the top side.
It's going to be so interesting to see how that plays out as this race goes on. Seeing how people are getting either looser or tighter, depending on how maybe they set up their cars. And it looks like they're maybe even trying to start a third lane here. And, oh, they just get a little bit back into Mijo there.
That's going to be the 15 of Alford. Starting that third lane, Brian Dixon right behind him. Number 10 car, Zachary Tyler, another newcomer. Showing he ain't scared to be the meat in the sandwich.
Looks like we have some of the guys in the farther back of this pack that are looking like they want to go with them. So we have this third lane that's trying to start their way and get going.
Yeah, somebody we haven't talked about, Kevin Powell. He was running about 4th for a second there. He dropped back just a little bit, but 10 laps to go. I expect him to be back in the front. He knows how to drive around this track and knows how to get there. Speaking of somebody else.
Looks like he's got some help with him as well.
Oh, yeah, Eric Warman down low. On the low side of him. He's coming up on Justin McMahon. Give him a push, Eric. He's going to get a big push from the 17 car.
He's going to get a big push, and the number 3 car is going to get loose. That is not the number 3. That is the number 17. I apologize.
Numbers are hard, man.
They are.
Good thing these cars got shiny colors. I couldn't keep up with them.
Unfortunate. That's that homeschool education for you, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
Ryan Messer looks like he's going to try to make a run here. Adam Thompson doing a good job holding them off.
A lot of these drivers going toward the top lane. Adam Thompson not wanting to give up that first position. Oh, and he gets a little loose. Oh, and they're spinning behind him.
That's Brian.
Oh, no, and he unfortunately got into Dixon there. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, that was Adam Weichel that just about got him there. We'll jump over to a replay and let's see what we see here. All right, we're on board here with Brian Dixon. Oh, looks like you just got it from the backside there. Oh, Mike Leftwich coming through. And then just a love tap to add a little bit to it. It's like Adam Thompson behind him. Not Adam Thompson. '56 car of Adam Gardner. Got a little tap from Mike. Adam said, here you go. Take that with you. Yeah, I don't know if a hammer and tape's going to fix what Brian Dixon's got going on there, but it might. Mike Leftwich also involved in that accident. He's back on the track now, making his way around. And taking the lead just when that caution came out was Brian Messer. Going to get around Adam Thompson. He's going to be coming to the green with about 5 to go, hoping to hold on to it for 5 laps, and that's going to be very tough sitting in front of Adam Thompson. Yes, somebody we have not talked about a lot tonight is Nick Shell right here. He has been fast all night, been keeping it clean, and he's now moved up to the front. He's up 3 spots already. He does have a really good shot to win this. He's going to be starting the second row. I like to be starting with a few laps to go, like second or third row is always a great place to be starting out. I don't ever want to be starting on the front row. Just too much can go wrong. It's hard to block every lane. When you're in the back, you can set up your move, and you're more on the attack instead of the defense there. Every time I throw a sponsor up on the screen, it wants to make the stream get all laggy. So we're going to resort to ad reads after this heat is over with. Hopefully we can pull another driver in here and talk to them and see how their car is doing, what their plan is for the main feature here tonight. I believe we are about to go back green here. It's like Adam Weichel there on the outside got a slow jump. Gary Armijo a little off on the jump as well. There might have been some accordion going on. Adam Thompson getting that high side, he's looking for some help. It's like Adam Gardner is going to come up and provide it for him. Yeah, and Gardner's giving a good push right now. He's moving up. Justin McMahon right behind him. Gary Armijo behind him. On that bottom side, you're going to have the 55 of Brian Messer dropping back to third. He's got the help of Nick Shell behind him in that 58 car. Justin McMahon, the 24. You see the 5 on top. He is the 24 car. Giving a good push here on the outside, repping that Group 6 sponsor. And for those watching at home that are curious about the number 5, we will bring that up in the feature race. So don't leave after the heats. I think this is going to get kind of messy here in the end. Bringing some heat to the heat. I like what you did there. That's Zach Tyler I got highlighted there on the screen. He got a little loose back there, giving some bumps. He's trying to push his way up there to the front. They're spreading out down here around Eric Warman. Yeah, McMahon is doing his best up there to get that line moving. Sometimes it doesn't work out as well as you want it to. Sometimes at Daytona, it's all about which way the wind's blowing, you know? Uh-oh, it looks like 24 back there. A little loose. The flashback up here to the front. 55 is going to try to make a move to the outside. Nick Shell going to give him some help. Adam Thompson's kind of hung out to dry right now. He's going to fall back. Look at McMahon. What a run right there at the finish. Oh, yeah, you've crossed the line and just whatever after that point. Congratulations to Brian Messer, though, taking the lead right there at the end. Waited and waited and made his move exactly when he needed to. Unfortunately, Thompson had nobody there to help him get the push, and he kind of got hung out there for a second. Coming in second in this heat's going to be Nick Shell. And it all just went away. Because we are not wasting time. We are getting right into our feature. Getting ready to grid up here. Tell us about Shoney's. Try to flash back here. This is going to be the third heat, I believe. A lot of these people have raced. It is, I just got word that this is a last chance qualifier for these guys.
Last chance qualifier, which, again, very exciting, really, when you think about it, that we need to have a last chance qualifier for these guys. Had enough people try to qualify, wanted to be involved in this race. We need to have a last chance qualifier to see who's going to make our final race this evening. So we have another 20 lapper, and we already have someone going around.
Trying to flash to him really quick.
Was he able to save that?
He may have been. That's Flores, a newcomer to the league this year as well. But in the lead here, you got Jeffrey Engel coming around from Lincolnton, North Carolina. Driving that 89 Chevy.
Mr. Flores there to save that thing and keep it on the track. I believe I even saw some comments in the stream earlier on where people were showing some support for him during his heat race. So from what I was seeing there on the screen there, good on him for making that save. It looked like he was almost all the way around.
Yeah.
Cutting up front here, we have Jeffrey Engel leading this heat. We have Hull behind him in the 09 car. Bill Hull out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. Mark Dumont directly behind him.
Yeah, he's going to be followed by Nicholas Atwood. Further back in the pack, we didn't talk about him much in the second heat that he was racing. It's Richard Leclerc. Dumont and Leclerc going to be our friends from up north across the border in Canada. Teammates been racing in the league for a while. Excited to see how their strategy plays out.
Longtime members of the Doghouse Racing League. Those guys really run well together. And both showing tremendous improvement over the season last year. And so excited to see where they're going to end up this season. I know those guys have really big plans. And it's going to be interesting to see where they are able to end up this season. Big move there by the number 19.
We'll flash up here to Nicholas Atwood. Oh, that's Adam Weichel going to be coming around. Another save. These guys want it.
Incredible to see.
Further back, making a
Great
second pack.
Talent.
It's going to be Bill Gentry, Mike Leftwich is going to be right behind him. And that 60 Shoney's Cameron King on the outside, and Brian Dixon. Brian Dixon, former winner here for the Doghouse Racing League. He knows how to get around.
He definitely does. And he was looking fast in his heat that he was running. Unfortunately, he just got caught up in one of those accidents that we had, and it's just Daytona timing where there's not too much you're able to do about it. Unfortunately, Adam Weichel trying to get in here, hooked in these guys to see if he's able to hook on to Mike Leftwich as he goes by.
As we flash back up here to the front, Jeffrey Engel still holding on to that lead, running that low line. That's my favorite line, smallest part of the track, you know, so. And he's staying out in front. 16 to go here.
You even had some stats to back that up earlier, John, where it's a not small amount shorter to go around the track on that low line.
It is 0.04 miles shorter if you stay on the low side compared to the outside line. So if you're trying to do a fuel strategy, you probably want to stay on the low side. You probably want to stay in the draft a little bit. Keep your foot just a little off the throttle. But in these heat races, that don't matter.
Which may not seem like much when you're out here and these cars going almost 200 miles an hour, but I can promise you, when you're in the middle of a run or a jog in sunny, humid North Carolina in the middle of the summer, 0.04 miles seems like forever.
Nicholas Atwood's moving up here. He's getting a bump from Adam Gardner behind him.
Saw a big move by Atwood about 2 laps ago to get off that low side, get on that high side. It seems like it's really working out for him as he even makes a play for the lead here.
Yeah, he's pushing it right there. He might have enough juice on this stretch here.
On that high line really has to seem like it's starting to warm up, or either those guys are just working really, really well together. You got an entire low line of, I believe, 5 or 6 cars down there that are working together, and you got just 2 cars up there on that high line, and they're staying right with those leaders.
You see what Nicholas Atwood just did there, getting real close to Jeffrey Engel right below him, and he's going to back off a little bit, side drafting. It's actually going to slow down Jeffrey Engel when he does that. And Nicholas Atwood is just a trick up his sleeve to try to get around him.
It'll be very exciting to see how this is able to play out. As those two do move into the lead, it looks like they're trying to now take the low line. They are moving, working together.
Yeah, that's one of my key points tonight. Is find some friends out there. See who's going to push you and who's good to be pushed and who's good to be pushing. So this is good for both of these guys. Figure out, hey, we could probably do this in the feature and move up pretty quickly because those guys are taking off right now.
John, I'm honestly not sure what they figured out. We haven't seen that happen in this heat race, any of these heat races so far, but those two out front have immediately pulled out to almost 3/4 of a second lead. Seems like we might have Jeffrey Engel and Bill Hull trying to work something out to see if they can run them down in 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, behind them is going to be the next pack with Richard Leclerc, Mark Dumont, teammates running side by side with each other. The Shoney's 21 is going to be Christopher Simon. Looks like Dumont's going to get a little push from Kevin Brown there with Warman following right behind. Simon's going to have to file in. They're going to have to work together if they want to catch this pack in front of them.
And that's going to be one of those things that you have to watch out for here at Daytona. Even if you have a line that you really like running, even if you feel like your car's faster there, you have to be willing to sacrifice that to make sure that you can get back in the line. You might be able to stay up on your lane by yourself with no help for a lap, maybe even a lap and a half to 2. But eventually it's just going to bite you, and you're going to get shuffled all the way back.
Yeah, I want to jump in the car here with Adam Gardner right now, as he's giving a push here to Nicholas Atwood. And what's interesting is you don't think you're going to use brake here at Daytona, but Nicholas Atwood in front of him is actually going to be braking coming off of these corners just a little bit. If there's some space, Nicholas Atwood wants to brake here. That allows Adam Gardner to catch up and give him a bump. They can keep pushing, keeping that good draft and a lot of speed.
And speed they have had, even still. They pulled out to almost 3/4 of a second lead like we were discussing just a few minutes ago. It does look like Jeffrey Engel and Bill Hull are able to kind of pull up right behind them. But those 4 are definitely going to be ones to watch for our main race.
You can just kind of see the gap that's going on there between the 2 packs. This backpack is really about to get together, work something out so they can catch up with these leaders with 10 to go.
Still on board here with Nicholas Atwood. Been leading this race pretty much for the entirety of the thing thus far. Gotten out to quick leads and has Gardner behind him that is willing to push. So going to be interesting to see how these 4 are able to kind of play things out as the rest of this race goes on. And then we do have another pack led by Richard Leclerc and Kevin Brown about 3 seconds behind them.
Yeah, stacking up twos here is not really going to be beneficial for them. They could utilize these next 5-6 laps, single file, make it just a very long train, reduce that drag that these front cars are experiencing, and really push their way to the front. Oh,
They do have, oh no, Leclerc just getting a little bit loose there.
I think that was going to be a bump by the 33 there, Kevin Brown. Sounded like somebody was in the wall. It might have been Adam Weichel, but I could not see that back there. Man, these guys are moving.
They are moving. Looks like this back line here is starting to kind of figure out where they want to go and how they want to get there, and they're starting to line up and really push, trying to make a run for this lead with 8 to go. On board here with Mike Leftwich here, unfortunately involved in one of those cautions that involved also Brian Dixon, who's 2 cars in front of him in the last heat. And they are part of this backpack here that are trying to get single file and work their way back up. They're looking like they're really starting to pick up some speed here.
And if you're Mike Leftwich, you have to know in the back of your mind, it has to be there that you are the cut line. He is the last one to get into the feature race tonight. Kevin Brown sitting on the outside looking in, trying to get around. That's going to probably be his goal if these guys can't catch up. If you can't be first, at least get into the feature and try to win that one there.
So for the viewers at home, the cut line is going to be the 8th position of this race. Obviously, we do have 17 total drivers here running. 2 have already called themselves out. And oh no, we have cars in the wall.
That was Adam Gardner. Those guys are so far out that he's going to be able to save it and still not get passed by that backpack.
He's just going to be able to kind of sit there at that front. As long as he can get on his horse there, he should be able to sit to the front.
Oh, but there's nightmares in the back.
Let's see if we go with him.
That's nightmare fuel in the back right there. He's going to go all the way back.
Oh, that is unfortunate to see for Adam. Been so fast here.
Kevin Brown's going to be your new cut line. That also hurts this front pack here now because it's going to be a lot harder for them to pull away with just 2 of them.
And they've been running fast up there, but now you have Jeffrey Engel. That gap was about 3 seconds just 2 laps ago, and we're already under 2 seconds here, hovering around 1.9. Like they might be trying to step on the gas here just a little bit, and I can't really blame them. It's got to be concerning when you see that 3rd car fall out.
Yeah, this is where the action is going on right now. These guys shuffling around, trying to stay within that cut line. Some trying to get into it. Eric Warman's definitely, he just made it inside. Simon's falling back to 9th here.
For these guys, like you said, it's a lot more at this point with 5 to go. It's a lot more than just getting up front and battling for the win. This is just a heat race. You want to make it into that final feature race where you're going to be actually having a chance to battle it out for the trophy. And so for this race, you're not even so much looking at the first. You're just trying to make sure that you get in there in that 8th spot where Eric Warman's sitting right now.
Tenth place here, I've got Mark Dumont. His teammates only 2 spots behind him. Jeffrey Engel, who was leading this race for a while, he's dropped 8 spots to sitting behind Mark Dumont, and in between him and Richard Leclerc. You know, those 2 guys want to link up and get together and work together. Looks like Leclerc's going to go with Engel here on the outside.
I was gonna go to the comments here just a second ago. I saw BMAC in the comments saying doesn't see you, Andrew, number 12. Andrew St. Cor then responding next race. Yeah, BMAC Andrew was in one of our earlier heats, ran really, really well. He's not in this race here. This is our last chance qualifier for these guys that are trying to make our feature race, which will be immediately following this one here with 4 to go. The cut line is going to be the 8th position. But in the meantime, we do still have the number 19 and Bill Hull here in 1st and 2nd.
That's me, Nicholas Atwood, and look at that second group has already caught up with him.
Yeah, this is going to be a very exciting final 3 lap.
Here we go.
Those guys are coming with a ton of heat.
Bill Hull left out to dry on that outside. It makes you so mad when you see all those cars pass you on the inside and there's nothing you can do.
It's unfortunate to see for him. Looks like he was able to get caught by that top line there.
As long as he can stay with the pack, he still has a shot. 3 laps to go is a lot of time at Daytona. It's a 2.5 mile track. A lot of pavement to get around. Cameron King doesn't just want the cut line. He wants to win.
I was going to say it is a lot of pavement to get around. And contrary to what we were just talking about a few minutes ago about just needing to finish 8th to make sure that you make it in this cut line. Nicholas Atwood's still leading this thing, but Cameron King and Brian Dixon are behind him, and they are coming in hot. They're still closely followed by Bill Gentry and Mike Leftwich, who are there. And you can argue with 2 to go here, being in that 4th and 5th position, you have the opportunity to really kind of start that lane of your own and really make a run for the lead if it's something they want to make a move on.
We got the white flag in the air here. Leclerc's out here by himself. Coming around to turn 1. Nicholas Atwood's going to be in first place right now. Cameron King behind him. Brian Dixon 3rd, followed by Bill Gentry. Mike Leftwich 5th. Eric Warman 6th. Kevin Brown 7th. And Bill Hull is on that last spot. Oh, it looks like he's going to make a move here. Cameron King pushing to the outside.
Oh, and there's a bump there trying to start a 3rd lane. Oh, and they're all shuffled up now.
Oh, Bill Hull's around.
Oh, they're going around. Oh, no.
It's going to be a parking lot on his hood. Mike Leftwich. Cameron King's going to come around and win this one. Eric Warman, he's into the feature. Brian Dixon, Nicholas Atwood. Chris Simon's going to be in the feature. Richard Leclerc squeezes through. Bill Gentry. Oh, it's not going to be Mark Dumont. Bill Hull passes him right there at the end. Dumont didn't have the car to do it. Bill Hull caught up in the wreck. Still gets his car straight. Comes around. Passes Dumont to get into the feature. That's incredible.
I don't think I've seen something like that happen since the last time I watched Cars 1. I have to be honest with you. What a finish. And it just goes to show you never know what's going to happen at Daytona. Nick Alford commenting, Cameron King first to last. Really brought it back there to bring home this win here. Unfortunate to see for a lot of these drivers who might have felt that they were safe going into this final feature race.
Well, that is going to take us to the warm-up session.
So we are going to have a 10-minute warm-up session here, which would probably be an excellent time for anyone sitting here watching at home to maybe go do your potty breaks or go to the fridge, grab yourself a cold beverage. But before you go running away, we do want to make sure that you do hear and listen to our sponsors for this season. With a league like this, it is so important to have sponsors. All of this is bootstrapped by these guys, and they do such a good job of putting their own money in here to make sure that things get put on here in this league. So obviously I have to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. So very first and foremost, this is the Group 6 Cup Series on Thursday nights of the Doghouse Racing League. So we want to make sure that we give them a big shout out here. Group 6 Cup Series. Group 6, make sure that you rev up your brand's potential with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse Racing season. As your creative marketing powerhouse, they're here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. Discover more at group6inc.com. That is GROUP, the number 6inc.com. And we also want to make sure that we are giving a huge shout out to the race sponsor. Longtime sponsor of the Doghouse Racing League is Shoney's. The Doghouse Racing League is also very proud to be brought to you by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Be sure to stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try one of their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bars and take home an entire strawberry pie. Shoney's has been bringing you delicious food and friendly service since 1947. John, I don't suppose we have time for a shameless self-plug, do we?
We could be shameless about it, yeah.
Well, then if we're being shameless, the Doghouse Racing League is also brought to you by Nap Daddy Racing. For those that are unaware, myself and Jonathan Smith, my other broadcaster up here, make up Nap Daddy Racing and Nap Daddy Racing Designs. Be sure to check out Nap Daddy Racing for all of your custom design and template needs for your next big race. If you are looking to get on something like that, be sure to head on over to napdaddyracing.com. That is KNAPPDADDYRACING.com. Be sure to check out the selection of custom design templates. Even find some for free. Where are you going to find something for free in this economy, John? Even get something custom designed, handmade, custom made by Jonathan himself. So I would say thanks to Nap Daddy Racing, but Nap Daddy Racing is us, and it feels a little more shameless than I care to be to thank myself. So,
Well, while we're waiting for this next feature to start and the drivers are taking their warm-up, I got Cameron King coming into the booth. Cameron King winning that third heat race to move himself in to the feature tonight. Cameron, you got me?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Man, I've had a rough night. I started off, my computer crashed on me. I qualified with no sound, was lined up in the heat, and everything froze, no sound. I was like, I'm not going to ruin anybody else's night. Didn't realize there was a consolation, so I told my boys, the guys that are in my chat, with the team, that, hey, we're going to go last to first here, not thinking it was actually going to happen, and got kind of lucky there.
I don't know how much luck was involved in that, man. It seemed like you had a strategy and you were pushing it down. And is that kind of the strategy you had, was to kind of sit and wait and make your move then, or how did that work out?
Yeah, I mean, that first turn when I had to check up for, I think, the 27 car got loose on the outside and came down in front of a group of us. There was 4 or 5 of us back there. I've worked with Brian Dixon before in the past. Me and him work really well together, and I think he got in behind me, and then unfortunately the 2 that were in front of us, we had to get around them for us to be able to have a shot at catching the pack. At that point, the goal was strictly just to catch the pack, try to get top 8. And then when we got ahead of steam and realized we were cooking, I wasn't trying to wreck anybody. I hope I didn't. Just wanted to see how well the car performed, honestly, with the updates to the drafting that happened on Tuesday. I haven't really had a chance to try any of this stuff out yet. And I really like drafting tracks, so I just mostly used it as a test there at the end. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you were definitely cooking. I think cooking is the right word. You were hauling there at the end.
Yeah, that was fun.
Before I let you go here, there's always 2 schools of thought when we do Daytona. Some people want to get up to the front super early and stay in the front. Some people want to stay in the back and hang back and wait till the end. What kind of is your strategy here going into the feature?
I mean, it really depends if I can. So, all 5 of my team cars. So the owner of Hot Lap Heroes, all 4 of my charters are in. Plus, we got a guy that's running with us in the 18 car in Kermit. He's part of our group here. So we got all 5 of us. We can get grouped up, either in the back or the front. We'll stay there. I think it really just depends on the aggressiveness of the race. In a longer race, maybe stick around in the back and kind of hang out. But with 50 laps, it's a pretty quick run. And you never really know when you're going to get a good solid push to the front, so you may have to take that. But my strategy is really just to group up with people that I can draft really well with, and whether that's the front or the back. I've been wrecked doing both of them, so either way doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, no, this is all about fun and getting comfortable around everybody again. So I'm having a blast, actually. So it was a lot of fun.
Definitely. Well, good luck to you tonight. Is there any sponsors or race teams you want to plug before I let you go?
Yeah, no, Hot Lap Heroes. I mean, obviously, that's the group we run with here, and then as an offshoot of Inferno Motorsports and the main team I run with on everything else. So, and you guys, honestly, for putting this whole deal on, you guys are doing an awesome job for being fairly green in the broadcasting space. You guys are doing an awesome job, and I really appreciate it. And keep up the good work, and I appreciate everybody at Doghouse.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Cameron.
And he said we are green to this. We are lime green to this. I mean, as green can possibly get. Greener than a stoplight when the person in front of you doesn't go. We are green. So we are still learning. We're still trying to figure out the kinks. But we'll get better.
As green as his teammate Kermit Henny's car, some would say.
Appreciate Cameron King jumping in. It's your consolation winner for the third heat. He's going to make himself into the feature tonight. These guys are still warming up.
Fast.
Go ahead, Hunter.
No, I was going to say, and he's just definitely going to be looking fast for someone that had so much bad luck, as he was talking about to you there in the earlier part of this race. To be able to come back and keep your nose down, work with your teammates, and come in first place of that heat. He definitely just put the rest of the crowd on watch for him for the rest of this evening.
That's his teammate he's talking about here, Kermit Henney. Yeah, we are greener than that car. Here's my pick for the night, Andrew St. Cour. I think he has what it takes to do it.
Andrew St. Cour also been looking really, really fast. Long-time member of the Doghouse Racing League, looking like he's working on his drafting there. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys kind of work through all their strategies here in this final pro. And we're spinning during practice. Oh, no.
Hey, it's just practice, right? Get the new car off the hauler, send it back out.
Go grab it off the hauler and keep it moving. I'm going to be very interested to see how Cameron and his teammates work through this final race. I did see also in the comments Nick Alford shouting him out there as well. Last to first is like he was talking about in that interview. So I got to be honest, I picked Jamie Horn earlier on to win this race. He was looking very fast in that first heat, but maybe those guys are going to have something to challenge either one of our picks.
Yeah, they definitely do. I really like the strategy he had there in that third heat as he just moved up to the front. Also, Brian Messer with his strategy in that second heat as well. He definitely got something going on, knows how to use his car to get around people here. Looks like our warm-up's going to come to a close here as people are about to start gridding up. People are heading to the pits, making their final adjustments, if you make any at all. It's a little taboo to make adjustments between your qualifying run, your race run, at least to your race setup. But some people do. I think it's bad luck.
Got to be exciting to see either way. I do see some likes flying into the stream here. Thanks everyone who is joining the stream. I believe we have 19 people in here. Seeing some likes flow in. Appreciate everyone for joining with us again. My name is Hunter, and I have John along here with me to bring you the Group 6 Cup Series of the Doghouse Racing League here on Thursday nights. We are both delighted to be bringing you these races, and we are, as we were kind of joking about a little bit earlier, pretty green. That's an understatement. We're very green, but we are working through it. So please be patient with any kinks or graphic issues or anything like that as we go through. We are doing our best here, but we appreciate so much all the likes. I see some likes coming in. We appreciate it. I appreciate the comments, everyone getting here and sounding off. It's awesome to see Redneck Nick in the comments saying texting and driving is safe. I believe that would be advice that I would advise you to take from Redneck 13 and not take as legal advice because the local PD may have some different remarks. And then we have BMAC in there saying, go number 12, stay off the grass. You do not want to be our John Deere Award winner of the evening. It is an award, but not the award you're after.
Yeah, these guys are starting to grid up here. See if we can shuffle through really quick. Since this is a heat race, it's not providing me the results of the heat on a grid, but that gives us a chance to see everybody's car one by one. And I like a good paint scheme, and this league is full of great paint schemes. Starting in
This
the
league is
first position, you're going to have Kevin Thompson driving that Ford. He's going to be starting on the inside. Second place right beside him, Gary Clune in that Toyota number 11. Third place will be Jamie Horn, which is Hunter's pick to win this. The guy's fast enough to do it. He just might. Brian Mester's going to be starting on the outside, starting fourth place. Fifth place on the inside, number 25, Jonathan Jennings. Big Shell in that 58 car. Going to be starting in sixth. Kermit Henney in seventh. And Nick Alford is going to be in eighth place. We'll wait for Andrew St. Cour to get going there. I believe he's actually going to be in the 8th or the 9th place spot.
Mhm.
Justin McMahon going to be starting in 10th place here. Gary Armijo behind him. Josh Cully is going to be starting 12th, I believe. Our numbers are mixed up because everybody's shuffling around getting ready, but on the inside of him is going to be Daniel Wilkerson in that 28 green car, the Alien Wear, followed by Steven Bonomo, Eric Anderson in the Classic 43 car, the STP car, and then Adam Thompson on the outside of him. 16th, Chris Leftwich. 17th is going to be Adam Thompson, very fast in the heat earlier. Tyler Millette's going to be starting 18th place in that 94 car, and in the 10 car is going to be Zachary Tyler. And I believe going to be in 20th is going to be Stephen Wood, actually. Oh, Stephen Wood is going to be in 21st. Michael Dow will be in 20th. 22nd, you're going to have Kevin Powell. 23rd, Cameron King. Behind him, Nicholas Atwood, Brian Dixon, Richard Leclerc, Christopher Simon, Bill Hull, and Bill Gentry's going to round out the last bit. So I'm trying to shuffle through these cars and get them all in before we go green here. I'm a sucker for a good paint scheme.
maybe that's why you started a company about it, buddy.
I really like Cameron King's paint scheme there. It's very, very clean looking. Kind of got that matte and that other chrome going with it. But we're about to go green here.
Going to be exciting to see where these guys finish. Going to be exciting to see how these paint schemes look at the end of the night. As we are coming green here for our main race of the evening. Thank you all for joining us. Here we go for the Group 6 Cup Series.
It looks like the 58 car got a small, slow jump there.
Adam Thompson maintaining his lead. Got Jamie Horn and Gary Clune right behind him. I have the 25 car in 4th place. I have Messer in the 55 in 5th. Henney, 18 car in 6th.
Yeah, they're going to be staying too wide here.
Coming around here for this second lap. Got Messer in 5th, Henney in 6th, Nick Shell 7th, 12 car in the 8th spot, Alfred in the 15 and 9th, and Daniel Wilkerson rounding out our top 10 right now.
And these guys are bumping and moving, just trying to space out a little bit. Again, you don't want to make your move a little too early. You don't want to cause any problems. You really just want to keep the car clean until the very end.
With Daytona, you're going to have so many things over this 50-lap race, especially including now. For this race, you're going to be dealing with having to make a pit stop. Now, at Daytona, you're not traditionally just going to be able to go green all the way through. There's going to be an accident here or there, but these guys are clean drivers, so it is going to be interesting to see how that shapes out into things as well.
And one of the things the guys got to look out for, too, is who you're going to be pitting with. People are going to have different pit strategies. They're going to pit on different laps. You're going to really have to find your friends, know who you're going to work well with, and pit with them. If you pit by yourself, you will get left in the dust at this track.
And unfortunately, there's not going to be a lot that's going to be able to save you if that happens, other than a couple of lucky cautions. It may happen. You never know. You never know what will happen at Daytona. We saw that in the last heat race. But you want to try to drive it as smart as you can.
Yeah, and coming around to the 4th lap here, we mentioned earlier, a lot of these cars tonight have the number 5 on them. This is actually for one of our league racers, Hunter Simpson. Why they're driving the 5 tonight. Hunter, would you like to tell them?
Yeah, unfortunately, last month, one of our Doghouse Racing League members, Hunter Simpson, experienced a tragedy in his life, and several drivers have elected to put the number 5 on top of their car in support of Hunter and his family. Hunter, the league misses you, and we wanted to make sure that we showed our support to you and your family. So we are dedicating lap 5 to you and your family. We would ask that everyone watching this race join us in a moment of silence for lap 5 and take some time to think about Hunter, send a prayer his way, and be thinking about him and his family in this difficult time.
As we come around for lap 6, I'd like to thank everybody for taking that time with us to support one of our league members here. Hunter Simpson's been in the league for a very long time. He is a very competitive driver, very fast, and he is always willing to help anybody out. So I'm glad that we were able to, at least in some way, help him out and show him our support. And Hunter, if you and your family listen, we miss you out here. Looking forward to seeing you back sometime, and we'll all be praying for you, bud.
Absolutely. Just know that for whatever it's worth, that us up here in the broadcast booth and all of these guys out here on the track want to make sure that you and your family know that we're thinking about you. We miss you and looking forward to having you back out here again. You'll absolutely be in our prayers.
I do think the 5 on top of every car is pretty cool, though. So I think the league came up with that, and they decided to do it. It's not easy for a lot of people to put numbers on top of their cars, so some of these guys have worked out and figured out how to do it. It's actually a little bit harder than it seems, which is why I get paid to do it. So it's cool to see these guys take the effort to go out of their way to do that tonight. Show that number on top of their car is for a bigger cause than just the number on the side of their car.
Yeah, and it's very telling about the quality of human beings that you have here in the Doghouse Racing League. Really great group of human beings wanting to look out for one of their brothers here. So almost brings a tear to your eye. It's really inspiring, and again, just want to make sure that if Hunter or one of his members of his family's out there watching this, that they know that they're in our thoughts and prayers. And we're looking forward to having them back out here on the track. Do want to make sure that we are also getting in here with the fans in the comments. We have Spoopy G wanting to say, let's go to the 12, 6, 19, and 11. Had some bad luck in his 56, but beast mode for the win. B-Mac out here saying, go Twisted Axle, and welcome back to Kevin. We have K-Doggy in the number 33. Saying, keep up the good work. Appreciate it. And unfortunately didn't make the main. It is unfortunate, man, but I'm sure we will see you back out here.
I believe that's going to be Adam Gardner, the 56 car. I was blinking on the thing.
Well, here we are 9 laps into this 50-lap run. When do you reckon these guys are going to be trying to come down for their splash of fuel, John? They don't really need tires unless something happens, but they will need some gas to get to the end of this race.
Yeah, it's going to be about a 40 lap run for them. I think it's going to be pretty hard to stretch that all the way to 50. You can definitely try. I don't think it's going to happen. Some of the strategies you might see if somebody is trying to do that, they're going to try to stay back. They don't want to be in the front. But I just think 10 laps of saving fuel is going to be way too tough. You might see some guys short pitted a little earlier. And these guys are in Discord servers together talking, so they're all going to tell each other exactly when they're coming in. Your guy, Jamie Horn, is making a move on the outside here, working again with Jonathan Jennings, his old teammate, just like they did in that first heat.
Moving himself into the lead there. And been looking fast all night. We do see him being pushed by the lead 6 car of Adam Thompson.
Yeah, it looks like the 6 car is Kevin Thompson.
Kevin Thompson, excuse me. Kevin, I apologize.
Andrew St. Cour working right behind them. Those guys work really well together. I think they're going to make a really good push here.
And we do have another bunch of heavy hitters up here in the top 10. We got Tyler Millette up here in the 4th position. I believe that's going to be up a couple spots from where he started. Got Gary Clune moving into the 7th spot. Daniel Wilkerson moving into the 9th as we're shuffling all around here.
And it's going to be some good racing here. There's a lot of good drivers sitting up here at the front right now. Not only in the front, I'm still looking back, and these are still good drivers that are just sitting here. This could be very interesting.
Again, with Daytona, you're going to see these guys using those different strategies on whether short pit, try to run it to the end, or whether they want to sit further back and try to make their run toward the end. Maybe they don't want to be up front here as this race goes on, but you're going to start to see all that to start to play out. Going back to the pit road strategies that we were talking about a few minutes ago, you said it's probably about a 40-lap run that these guys have. So it's going to be very interesting from this point on if we do have a caution to see if they end up deciding to come down and go ahead and get that gas to make it to the end, or if they just use that time to try to save as much as they can and see if they can stay off of pit road.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of guys come and take a splash of fuel. They probably won't end up taking tires in this race. At least I would never consider taking tires for a 50-lap race at Daytona. I mean, your tire wear on iRacing really is measured in two different ways. You have your temperatures, which measures your inside, outside, and middle of your tire, but you also have a percentage that it gives you as well. Over a 50-lap run here at Daytona, you may see your tire wear fall off to about 98 to 96% at the lowest on those right sides. So it's really hard to justify taking tires, killing that much time, when really it's the draft that's going to save you here, not the tires.
We are seeing Jamie Horn here still being pushed by that 25 by the 25 of
Jonathan
Jennings.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Man, the myth, the legend of the Doghouse Racing League. Won a lot of races, won a lot of championships here. Him and Jamie, who are running 1 and 2 right now, used to be teammates. Jonathan Jennings ended up going over to the Choney's Racing team at the end of last season. Jamie Horn still racing for Elite Southern Motorsports. We're going to be curious to see how those guys move forward as this race goes on.
Yeah, let's take a look back here at Justin. Man, he's fallen back 12 spots, but now he's just moved up 2 more spots there. So he's down 10 total for the night. He's going to be driving our Group 6 Cup Series sponsor there. I think he will move up later in the race, sitting P20 right now. Justin McMahon had a really good year last year. He finished 5th in the points overall. Ended up with, I misspoke earlier, he had 5 podiums, 6 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and 1 win last year. So very, very good driver, and definitely looking to get a little bit higher up than 5th this year, and I think he can do it. I think he has the car and the talent to get up there.
Yeah, and he's a smart guy, John. I'm not worried at all about him being back there in that, I believe, 22nd position right now. Might be one of those guys that's trying to either slide back and let things play out. Maybe he's trying to save some gas. You never know, but you know that he's going to be on top of his game, and he's got a plan ready for how he's going to run this race tonight.
Yeah, it's somebody we didn't talk about a lot in the heat race until very late, but also made a good run. Nick Shell. just from Lincoln. I'm assuming Nebraska.
Nick, if you're not from Nebraska, then we are sorry for assuming you're from Nebraska. But on the positive side of that, boy, have you looked fast. Nick has been running near the top of those heats. He's looked fast in all of these practice races. I know he's one of the newer comers to the league, but even those newcomers that are coming in, including Nick, have looked incredibly fast and been showing off a lot of talent, giving these old-timers here in the league something to be worried about.
And we talked to his teammate Cameron King earlier. They're running a similar paint scheme tonight. Hot Lap Heroes race team. So they're racing for running the same scheme. Also teammates with Kermit Henney, who's going to be up there in the 18 car near the front.
That's one of the things that's most exciting for me, John, as this season goes on. With so many different teams, old drivers, new personalities, old personalities. It's going to be so fun to see how this shapes up as the season goes on. As you see these guys starting to make friends in and out of their team, starting to make enemies in and out of their team. And when you have a group of guys that are this talented, that can only mean for some really fun racing.
Yeah, they're pushing it 3 wide right here. It's going to be Zachary Tyler in the middle. He's going to fall back with no help. McMahon's going to get around him. Sticking to that inside. I don't blame him. I like that inside line myself.
You're going to see these guys going between the lines as the race progresses. One of the things you have to watch out for at Daytona is you're going to find those lines that you like. As you see even Justin going up to the higher side there as he's getting ready to try to come out of this turn. You got to make sure that you put yourself in the best position regardless of which line you want to run. Sometimes these lines are going to shuffle, sometimes they're going to change, and if you're not quick enough in deciding on where you want to run, you can find yourself up at the back of the pack really quick.
Yeah, and I noticed Jamie and Jonathan Jennings and Chris Leftwich all at the top, Tyler Millette, all those guys usually run with our boy Hunter Simpson, and every time I run with Hunter Simpson here, he loves that high side. He's going to be riding the wall, and he's very fast at it too, so there's a reason to his method. But it looks like they're sticking with that plan there.
See Jamie moving back up into the first spot. Let's see if he can hang on to it. Still being pushed by Jonathan Jennings. Then we have Adam Thompson down there on that low side, followed by the 12 car.
12 car is going to be my guy St. Cour right there.
Andrew St. Cour. And again, if you are seeing up there on the left where it's showing that 3-letter acronym instead of a name, that is a technical glitch. We are aware of it. It's within the software that we use to show these names up on the side of the screen. So we are going to work on that. Hopefully have that all ironed out for you by the time this next race comes around. But either way, Andrew St. Cour been very, very fast. Been in the comments this evening. Been running incredibly fast. So definitely want to make sure that we are not just referring to him by his car number. St. Cour's been very fast and going to be very dangerous as this race goes on.
He is up there on the wall too. Made a move to the outside to get around and pop into second place. And we made good picks as it stands right now with 30 laps to go. I mean, these guys are fighting for a win here.
With 21 laps into this race, we see Thompson there moving into first, being pushed by St. Cour. Got Jonathan Jennings behind them, trying to catch up. You're going to be trying to get on their tails. Gary Kloon behind them, Mike Leftwich in 5th, Jamie Horn in 6th, Kevin Thompson bringing in your 7th position.
And that 8th place spot is going to be Nicholas Atwood. He was very fast during the heat as well. He led a lot of laps out there. Kind of surprising to see a guy like Atwood in the consolation heat. Always a very fast driver. He knows what he's doing here, and use that skill to get himself into the race here, the feature tonight.
Absolutely. We do see him starting to shuffle around a little bit more here, but we do see Gary Kloon moving up a couple spots, as well as Kermit Henney in that 18 car moving into 6th.
Yeah, Gary Kloon's another guy to watch out for. This guy's improved a lot over the past few seasons, and he's showing it here tonight, sticking up near the front, showing that he's not afraid to run up there with those guys.
A little love tap to St. Cour there.
They just got to get him going, give him a little push, you know. I'd like to shuffle back here to Christopher Simon. a guy that made leaps last season. Just over the course of a season, I don't think I've ever seen somebody improve. He was already very good, but he became very, very good last season in both the Tuesday night series and the Thursday night series. I actually finished pretty high up in the standings in both. I know in that last race for our Tuesday night series, he definitely gave me a run for my money. So I'm excited to see what he does this season with that brand new Shoney's paint scheme he's got there in the 21 car.
Definitely going to be one to watch out for as the season goes on. It looks like Chris is going to try to hook on to that top line there and keep things going.
Yeah, and if your guys like Kevin Powell right now is sitting in the back, you're not worried a bit. There's, 27 laps to go, 28 laps to go. You're just kind of cruising. You're trying to stay out of a wreck. If I'm Kevin Powell, I'm not worried a bit. This is a good spot to be in right now. You can see the track in front of you and see how the cars are moving around, and you're just waiting to make your move. I want to shout out one of our newcomers. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nope. I was just gonna add on to what you were saying there for these guys in the back. It's just gonna be one of those things. Your eyes are just locked out the front of that windshield, trying to make sure that you avoid any damage that might be coming your way. We did see a few accidents there in the heats, but so far these guys have been running very clean.
Yeah, I was going to shift over to Josh Coley. He's a newcomer in the league as well. This is going to be his first season racing with us. Raced Tuesday night, the preseason race for the Gym 4s, and was very fast, showed a lot of skill, a lot of talent, coming in with a very high I rating, which is the number that I rating gives you based off of your performance in official races. And he has a very high one, so I'm sure we'll see him do some good stuff this year. First guys pitting now, Kevin Thompson, St. Cour, Gary Clune, and Atwood coming down pit road together. This is kind of what I was alluding to earlier. You kind of want to pick who your friends are and stick with them tonight. That's going to get Jonathan Jennings out of the lead.
Talking about it and have a plan. We do see Jonathan Jennings move into the lead there. So if you're those guys that are coming down pit road right now, are you feeling like you want it to stay green and you want to be able to just catch the pack naturally? Or are you thinking that maybe after you get off pit road, you want to caution and assume that everyone else will come in at that point?
Well, they're going to go a lap down right here in just a second, I believe. They don't get off pit road in time. Let's take a look and see where they're at. They're coming off pit road now. If they can stay in front, yeah, a caution would be fantastic. But you know all the guys behind you are going to pit as well. I don't know if they're going to have the speed to stay away from Jonathan Jennings and that whole pack. But if they work together and they're a fast group of guys, they can definitely move around. Ideally, if there is a caution, you would like it to come out after everyone's pitted. Make sure you don't go a lap down and get caught up in that weird pit caution gap. That's definitely caught a few drivers a few times. I know somebody that was just plagued with bad luck last year and still managed to finish up very high with our guy Justin McMahon here. Fast racer, could have had a lot more wins or podiums, but was just plagued with bad luck. Nothing his fault. It just seemed bad luck followed him around all season. You see him pit here with Tyler Millette, Jamie Horn, Daniel Wilkerson's going to be behind him, Gary Armijo, Kevin Powell, Josh Coley, all those guys that work together.
We're seeing Jonathan Jennings still staying out on the track, followed by Chris Leftwich. Got Kevin Thompson behind him. Kermit Hennig's bringing up that fourth spot. Bill Hull is going to be your fifth. And then we got Messer sixth, Nick Shell in the seventh spot. Chris Simon, who we were just talking about, in the eighth spot, shuffling around. Cameron King, who was the winner of that last heat, was just sitting 10th. Looks like he moved back to 11th.
Yeah, this is that interesting split we were talking about between Jamie Horn and Jonathan Jennings. Not on the same team this year. I think usually you would see those two guys go together, but this time Jonathan Jennings coming on pit road. His teammate Chris Leftwich is going to be right behind him. Adam Thompson, Eric Anderson, Eric Warman, Chris Simon, Bill Hull coming out here, Stephen Wood, and Michael Dow in this pit stop here. Kermit Henney's going to be your new leader.
And all those guys coming down pit road, but like we were talking about earlier, unless you see some sort of outside influence, maybe an accident or maybe the way they were running the race very early on, trying to get into positions, most of these guys aren't going to be taking any tires. They're just coming down to get a splash of gas, make sure they can make it to the end of this race. And we see the leaders coming down pit road now which should bring us about to the end of our pit cycle.
Yeah, that's going to be Brian Messer, Kermit Henney, Nick Alford, Nick Shell, Cameron King, and Brian Dixon of that group. Jonathan Jennings is going to eventually take back over the lead here as those guys are on pit road. Andrew St. Cour flying up on the outside. There's that group. Kevin Thompson right behind him. Gary Clune following along. Nicholas Atwood behind Clune. Chris Simon's going to jump out and try to jump in with those guys. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch that draft, though. And he's hung out to dry.
And was that going to be them getting their lap back, or is that just going to be them moving into position?
That is going to be a pass for position right there. Still showing Messer. Okay. I was still showing him leading the race, but I knew he was on pit road. But this is because they're coming around now. They can link onto these cars and be totally okay. Still in the lead lap. Everything's fine. You're just cruising. Keep it clean. Again, find your friends. Work well.
It is crazy to see a lot of times when you see these several different groups pitting on the green flag stops. A lot of times you'll see them get very split up and divided. And we are pretty much already back after those pit road stops. Back to close racing. Only a second separating first through 10th.
Yeah, that just goes to show the level of talent here in Doghouse. These guys are getting in, making good pit stops. There's more than just getting on pit road and finding your stall. You've got to make sure you're braking at the right point to stay under your speed. You got to make sure you're sliding into your pit stall right, not going too far and overshooting it, not stopping too early, and then getting back out there quickly to keep up with everybody. It looks like everybody did that here, which is just talent that goes into this Doghouse League. It is probably one of the most talented groups of drivers I've ever raced with.
Just a flawless run of pit stops by these guys. You do still see Andrew St. Cour leading this thing. Got Kevin Thompson right behind him in the second spot. Gary Clune been fast all evening, running in third. I know he's moved up a couple spots from where he started.
And you know who's moved a lot here is Nicholas Atwood. He is up 22 spots tonight, almost our biggest mover, if not for Mr. Bill Hull, who is up 24 whole spots, sitting in 6th place right now.
What a run for him tonight, especially being one of the newer comers. But we were talking to one of his teammates earlier on, and those guys seem like they have a plan and they are really trying to be dangerous, not just in this race, but also in this season. We see him sitting there right behind Jonathan Jennings, a longtime legend of the series, and he is running right with him, and looks like he's trying to figure out how he is going to get his way to the front here with 19 to go.
Yeah, these guys about to come around turn 2 here. You can kind of see the separation that's happening, but I think a lot of this gap will close back up as these groups start to form.
Even those guys in that backpack look like they're coming in with a pretty good head of steam. If you're in this back 3 there, you got a lot of work to do, but you're still not out of the race.
Yeah, they can still work together pretty well, get a good little push and run here, and eventually catch back up over some time. They got 19 to go, so plenty of time to go here. They don't really have to get super aggressive, but they are pushing about 10 seconds behind the leader, which is about maybe 7 seconds behind the first pack up there.
I believe they're trying to catch up to Cameron King, who's bringing up the back of that pack that's in front of them.
Chris Simon, who we were talking about earlier, he's moved up quite a bit. He is sitting 9th place right now, up 18 spots for the night. I knew it was a matter of time for her to get up there.
So interesting to see these guys, because you know they're just, it looks so, you could almost call it peaceful while they're just sitting there single file, one behind the other, 1 through 9. But you know these guys are thinking about how they're going to work their way to the front, when's going to be the time to make the move, who they're going to try to run with, and how they're going to be able to get their way to the front to win this race.
Going back to this backpack here, it looks like Daniel Wilkerson, Jamie Horn, Stephen Bonomo, Daniel Wilkerson, Justin McMahon, and Tyler Millette all working together. All teammates here were, if not exactly on the same team, all work together very well and practice together sometimes. And really making a push here. I think they'll be able to catch up soon, especially with a good pusher like Justin McMahon, Tyler Millette back there, Jamie Horn also able to push. Steven Bonomo giving it to Jamie Horn right now, saying, let's go. We got to catch up.
And if I'm these guys, yeah, you're wanting to catch up. Yeah, you're wanting to make sure you're a little bit closer in there, but I'm not worried at all. You're only, I believe, even at the furthest back of that line there, you're maybe 3 seconds behind the leaders at the worst. And when all these guys get in line and start pushing, like you said, they all know that they work together well. You're going to see them working their way back up to the front here in the next lap or two.
Yeah, and you just got to respect all the cool paint schemes that came out tonight. Going back to this again, because everybody just really brought it. A lot of the guys busting out new schemes for the new season. I see Eric Warman's got him a new scheme going on there. Looks like St. Cour has a new one. Gary Kloon has a new one. Chris Simon, Jonathan Jennings, and everybody's just doing great work putting these things out here, and they all look really great. If you don't like racing, at least look at the cars. They look nice.
Yeah, it's definitely can't be underestimated the amount of work that goes into that, because there's many different ways to get these different paint schemes on your cars. You can custom design your own, which is takes both very expensive software and a very powerful computer, or you could buy them or purchase them from many different sponsors and many different places that will do that. Some of them just do template work. Some of them do custom and template work. Shameless plug to John there with Nap Daddy Racing.
I'm looking,
does both.
yeah, I'm looking back here. Steven Monomo fell really far back. I don't know if he's having trouble or what's going on. He was running up there with those elite Southern Motorsports guys, and now he's falling back a little bit. See if we can go back, catch up with the pack that he was with. And this group of four that's still pushing and giving it to him and getting Jamie to go. And it's one thing to push like Daniel Wilkerson is here, and he's going to do this as much as he can to try to catch back up, but Daniel's also thinking in the back of his mind here that as you push this close, your car is going to get a lot hotter, and it could eventually blow up on you. You could blow an engine by doing this for too long. So you might see some of these guys cycle out. They'll be talking to each other, and Jamie or Wilkerson might say, hey man, I'm getting a little hot back here, and he might rotate with McMahon, or Jamie Horn might pop back behind and let Wilkerson take the lead for a little bit.
Yeah, if you're seeing these guys lined up one behind the other in this draft for a long time, you see one maybe stick their nose out a little bit up high to the right, and you're thinking, wow, that doesn't seem like that'd be very effective for the draft, or wow, that seemed like it slowed them down. They're aware of that, but you can't just sit behind the other car for the entirety of the race. Like you said, it will start heating you up, especially as you do that for lap after lap on end.
Yeah, two guys that have mastered that whole switching talent here is Andrew St. Cour and Kevin Thompson. These guys work really good, just them two by themselves. Both teammates, always very strong finishes here at Daytona, so I kind of sandbagged my pick a little bit by picking St. Cour. Just always good here. But I still think this elite Southern Motorsports guys with Jamie Horn and Wilkerson are going to push up. They're about 4 seconds off from this pack now. And moving back to 5 seconds now.
I was going to say they were close to 3 seconds not that long ago, maybe about 2 laps ago, and now it does seem like they are starting to slide back a little bit. It looks like maybe they decided to do a reshuffle, and that maybe had to slow them down for a little bit, but I know they're going to link right back up here and get to pushing again.
Yeah, I guess that was good timing on that little note there, because it looks like Wilkerson may have got a little hot, had to back out, shuffle to the back. He doesn't have to push as hard. It will help if he does, but he can also just take a breather for a second. Not have to be so locked in. He's kind of just Sunday cruising with the pack, trying to see if these guys get to the front. And every few laps, he'll probably squeeze in and help the line get a little push, but he wants to protect his car to get it there to the end.
Done a great job tonight, working his way up towards the top 10, running in 13th here. So these guys are going to be your, I believe, 10th through 13th drivers, 10th through 14th.
They are.
And they're trying to work their way not just into the top 10. Again, these guys don't really need to be concerned with where they're at right now. 7 seconds may seem like a lot to overcome, but they just reshuffled so they can get some clean air, and they're going to be back up there pushing forward as we cut back here to Michael Dow.
Yeah, Michael Dow pushing that 20 cars right behind Chris Leftwich. Kevin Powell is going to be behind him, and I believe that's Stephen Wood in the 42 car. These guys have to be just a little bit more concerned with the position they're in right now with 10 laps to go. They're about a good 26 seconds behind the leader. Michael Dow also making that trip over same state in Florida from Port St. Lucie. I believe that's a little bit closer than Eric Anderson is. Speaking of Eric, Eric's going to be working with this pack right here from Panama City, Florida. He's going to be following right behind Cameron King, who was our Constellation race winner. We heard from him earlier in our interview in between races. Going to be trying to push his teammate Kermit Henney to the front. Gary Armijo in that 7 car behind him, or behind Anderson. And the 88 car is going to be newcomer Josh Cully as well.
And you know those guys are sitting back there, they're plotting, they're planning, they're trying to figure out how they're going to work their way to get back up. As these laps tick by, it does going to start to get a little bit more urgent as to try to figure out how they're going to work their way back up and make up this time, especially with as strong of a front group as we've seen here leading this race. I still got Andrew St. Cord leading this thing with Kevin Thompson behind him and Gary Clune right behind him.
That's me, Nicholas Atwood in the 19. He has the BMP over top of his name here tonight. Again, mistake on our end. Nothing on these drivers here. They got Bill Hull behind him, who squeaked his way into this feature kind of in a comedic way after being involved in a wreck, and then moves around. I believe it was Dumont to grab the spot from him really quick with about 50 feet to go to the line as Dumont was limping across the line.
There were cars going every which direction. Some were up in the wall, some were down on the grass from that accident that happened on turn 3 of our final qualifier. And fortunately enough for Bill, he stayed on the track, and Mark Dumont, who was running in that final qualification spot, was down on the grass. And while doing an excellent job of pushing for our John Deere Grass Cutter Award winner of the night, he was trying to get back up there and get that last qualification spot, and Bill Hull was able to sneak up there and grab it.
Yeah, I don't think we own the rights to Joe Diffie's John Deere Green, but that would be a good one to put on the stream there.
Rest in peace to a legend.
I don't think his label would be very happy with us doing that, and I don't think Doghouse Racing League would be very happy with us getting banned from YouTube Live on our first night of streaming here for using a copyrighted song. So
if you see the logo come up, just know that we're all thinking it.
Yeah, we're all thinking it. If you want to sing a few bars, you can.
I will not subject anyone to that. And
I thought better of that after I said it.
Yeah, you've known me long enough to know that's not a good idea. As we go over here to Chris Simon, currently running 8th, looking like he's coming in with a lot of steam there with Jonathan Jennings behind him.
That move would be really good if he were to pull off just a tiny side draft. He could just drop them below, but I don't know if you want to make enemies with Jonathan Jennings and leave him out to dry like that. That's a guy you want to work with till the end. It looks like he's trying to pull off a little side draft here to get in front of Eric Warman. It's not going to really work. You got to go a little bit closer than that. It's also 6 laps to go, plenty of time. He did drop in.
Here with 6 to go, Chris Simon leaving Jonathan Jennings out to dry up there up high. But as we come into this last 5 to 6 to go, you're really going to start to see these guys have been talking, they've been planning and plotting on how they're going to make their run here. And anything less than 5 to go is when you're really going to start to see these plans start to come into play. It looks like Jonathan and Chris were just kind of the first ones to make their move there. Chris moving into that single file line on the low side. Jonathan Jennings trying to hang on up there next to Justin McMahon.
Yeah, I want to shuffle back here to this pack. Daniel Wilkerson in it, led by Justin McMahon. They are about, looks like 9 seconds off pace. They're still falling back. It's going to be very hard for them to catch up that quickly unless they get something going here very tight and get a good push. The next pack behind them is going to be our heat winner, Brian Messer. Followed by a teammate, I believe it's his teammate, Nick Offord. Nick Shell's behind him.
Those guys have looked so fast here through these heats. Unfortunate to see that they've kind of gotten stuck back here, but these leaders have just done such a good job of staying fast and staying consistent. No trouble at all. And so a lot of times you'll have those things that'll go in your favor here at Daytona to help you kind of cinch back up to the pack, maybe realign and reset your plan for how you're going to try to move through to the end of this race. And it's just been, unfortunately for them, an incredibly clean race.
Yeah. That's what you're going to see a lot in Doghouse, so a lot of clean races. There's been a lot of races that just go green flag to checker flag, no cautions in between. I personally enjoy that a little bit better. I know some of these drivers are begging for a caution right now. Anybody would just spin out. I think they would take it. But we got 3 to go, and looks like Andrew St. Cyr is just still leading. Not showing any signs of slowing. Oh, big bump. That could be an accordion style right there.
Big bumps. Wonder if that was on purpose to try to aid the draft, or that was the start of someone trying to make some moves here as we come into the 2 to go.
Yeah, looks like people are going to get a little antsy here. That's Adam Thompson on the outside. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, in the wall. Here we go. Oh, no. Adam Thompson up into that outside wall, and that throws our first caution here with 3 to go. That's so sad to see. He takes out so many of the lead group.
I'm trying to see where that started at and who got involved in it. I know Kevin Thompson still down there on that infield. That one hurts. That's got to hurt a lot. That is such a good run.
Kevin been fast all night, unfortunately stuck down there on that inside wall. We'll be very curious to see how this all shakes out, and it's so unfortunate for some of those guys. They've been running a perfect race thus far. They've been somewhere between 1st and 7th for the last 20 laps. No issues, no cautions, no anything. But in the same breath, while you see how sad it is for some of those guys, you know those guys back in the 11th, 12th spots, part of those other packs we were looking at, are thanking their lucky racing stars right now.
Yeah, let's cut to a break here as we get this replay pulled up for you. All right. And we are back here riding along with Gary Clune. Trying to see what happened here.
We'd seen just the lap before those guys start to bump just a little bit, trying to maybe start to make their moves. And it looks like that might have been the start of it again here.
A little bump from Atwood. Clune just hits that back right side. That's going to be a damper on Kevin Thompson's night, running 2nd place all race.
And unfortunately, I don't think that's anything, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't think that's anything malicious there from Gary. It just looks like the lead package started maybe trying to make their move, and they started to start shuffling around and moving, and it looks like Gary maybe just put that bump at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's going to be a great save from Atwood there, though. But there is, around that tribal in the front, there is a tiny little bump as you're kind of going around. And sometimes that can unsettle the car just a little bit and throw some guys out of line. I think that's kind of what happened, just a mix between everybody, and just unfortunate. It's Daytona racing. It happens. You can't be too mad about it. You can be mad in the moment, but it happens to you. It's going to happen to somebody else. Just very unfortunate. That's going to leave Andrew St. Cyr up here kind of by himself, but he does have Nicholas Atwood, I believe, teammate right below him with that beast mode car.
And I know we still have some cars down on pit road. I know some guys were able to kind of come out of that with just the spin and are going to try to stay out there. Eric Warman just now able to come off of pit road, was involved there. I know we had Kevin Thompson probably take the worst of the impact there when he get into that outside wall. And then we have another car that I believe is going to be down on pit road as well, and that is going to be the number 9 of Stephen Bonomo. I believe he got caught up in the tail end of that accident there.
Yeah, just unfortunate, man. It's 3 to go. You don't really expect it to happen there, but it can happen anytime, and you just got to be ready for it. I was looking forward to Stephen Bonomo and his pack and all those elite Southern Motorsports guys to kind of make their way up, but this is a really good opportunity for them to catch back up with a pack. For guys like Justin McMahon, that 10-second deficit's deleted. Guys like Kevin Powell that were back here 26 seconds behind the first group, that 27-second deficit, 26-second deficit's deleted. So it's a fresh start for a lot of guys here that can go out there and win it. And just because these guys are in the back, you can still win it from the back with 3 laps to go here.
Yeah, John, I was going to say, if you're those guys, you never want to wish ill on anybody, but you are jumping up and down in your chair right now if you are them, being able to delete those 10 and 20-second leads that have gotten run up. Again, just showing you never know what's going to happen here at Daytona. And there's still 3 to go, so the action's not over, especially now that all of these guys are going to be right back lined up, and we know we have some faster cars that had gotten caught up in some of those further back packs. So being able to see them be able to get up here and get up front is going to make for a hell of a last 3 laps.
It's going to be very interesting. These guys start to get two by two here. And it's just going to be a matter of picking which lane do you want to go in and when are you going to make your move. So apparently all the drivers have disappeared from the track because they are that fast. There we go.
It does seem like they're that fast sometimes, but
camera guy can't keep up.
You never know what's going to happen. We're coming to green here. Final 3 laps. Let's see what happens.
I'm sorry. I was off on that mark. Looks like St. Cyr's going to hold on to that lead there, followed by Atwood. Jennings is behind him. Simon behind him. They're going 3 wide here on the back stretch. Trying to make something happen.
Everyone jockeying for position right now. You're trying to find your friends. You're trying to see who's going to go with you, who's going to push you, or who can you push to take you to the front. Is anyone going to be able to catch St. Cyr out there that's so fast all night?
It's going to be tough if he keeps driving like this.
And here comes that top line. They make their push.
Jennings is coming to the bottom side on the final lap.
Jennings is coming to the bottom side, tries to close the door on Thompson up top. They're shuffling back in the middle. They're going around.
Justin McMahon squeaks through there. Eric Anderson still moving around. Kevin Powell's behind McMahon. Coming around Jennings. Chris Simon taking the lead right now. Adam Thompson behind him.
Final lap, here we go. They're coming to the checkered flag here. They're spinning out behind them, but it doesn't matter for these guys.
Simon's just got to hold on to it. He's got to make this block here. Thompson's going to try to make a move as soon as they get out straight. When's he going to make it?
Anything in for Chris Simon here at the end?
I think it's too late. Chris Simon's going to win it.
Chris Simon bringing home the checkered flag. Kevin Thompson bringing home second. Waited maybe just a half a second too late there to make his move, but so fast. Chris Simon bringing home that checkered flag. You got Thompson in the 71 in the second place. And is that St. Cyr that came home in third?
St. Cyr third. Justin McMahon squeaking past that last little accident there to get 4th place. Kevin Powell He's going to come home with 5th. Jonathan Jennings behind him in 6th. And in front of McMahon now, and giving Simon a little love tap, is Jamie Horn. Shout out to Chris Simon, though. The man was in the back earlier. We kind of thought he might have a strategy. Everybody's giving Simon some love there. We were just talking about it. The man's improved so much over last season. And he's really just showing out here tonight.
He's had such a fast car tonight. He was back near the back for a good portion of it and just ran his race exactly the way he wanted to run it, and took into account that you never know what's going to happen here at Daytona, and came out there and was able to bring it home.
All right, let's see it, Simon. Burn it out, baby. Oh, we got to see it. Show us something. Give us a show. I believe he's just going to park it there. Adam Thompson's giving us something, though, there. Going to tear that front splitter off.
Giving us a little celebration in honor of Chris there. Adam Thompson, there's your second place driver behind him. You had Andrew St. Court in 3rd. Well, what a run by these guys tonight, John. What an exciting race. So clean and just lots of single file racing. Guys just figuring out, shuffling around. Wanting to see exactly where they wanted to be. And then at the end, it all goes up, as it does happen to do at Daytona, and it shuffles everything up.
Yeah, I want to go back here just for a second. We were so caught up in all the other action, we kind of missed the pass that Simon had. And I don't want to pass that up. I mean, let's see if I can pull it up here. Excuse me for the terrible transitions here. Here's the pass. I just want to make sure we get this. Chris Simon moves to the outside of St. Cour. He's got Thompson, Adam Thompson behind him. The wrecking's happened behind him. He don't care. And unfortunately, the wreck kind of just leaves St. Cour out there to dry. Nothing he can really do about it.
And able to bring home the checkered flag.
I also want to shift back here to Justin McMahon during this too. Got to give some credit to the Group 6 driver that put it out there. Watch Justin McMahon was outside. Gets the wall a little bit, squeezes by. Kevin Powell's also going to squeeze by right underneath him as well. Jamie Horn getting through. That's Gary Clune in the 11 car. Jonathan Jennings in the 25, the red car to the left.
Everybody just able to fire their way through and make sure they get to the checkered flag there.
That was great racing by those guys. That was good stuff. I'm a fan of great racing like that.
You do love to see it. What an exciting end to this race. I know we are going to be pulling our podium drivers in here for a quick little end of race interview.
Yeah, I believe I'm waiting on St. Cour, but we don't have him in right now. He might be doing some other stuff, getting his rig set up and everything. And let's go with Adam Thompson. Adam Thompson finishing second here tonight. Hey, Adam, this is John up in the booth. You got me? I don't know if he's got me. You got me, Adam?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
There we go.
What's up, boys?
Man, that was a run and a half tonight, wasn't it?
Holy cow. What in the world? Yeah. Jeez, man. I thought I was out of it when that caution came out. That guy got missiled into the wall there in front of me, and he got my front right. And so that last green white checker, I had to stay right on Chris's butt. Normally I would have went to his outside, probably in the middle of 3 and 4. That's about the best place to do it. But I had to wait till the last second, because if I pulled out, it was just one big parachute. So anyway, it was fun.
Yeah, we were watching you come around 4 there. I was trying to call when you were going to make your move and see when you were going to wait to do it. Hindsight 2020, would you done anything differently on that last 2 turns there?
No, I wouldn't have. Only, like I said, because I had that damage. Yes, if you had a car that had 0 damage, I would have made that move in the middle of 3 and 4 without a doubt. That's where I've won it the most. But like I said, I had to wait longer, just because if I would have went to his outside, I mean, I could barely run. I think it was 170 miles an hour by myself once I got that damage. So yeah, I would have been toast.
Wow. But yeah, you definitely had a good run there tonight. Good in the heat races too. Good there last year. What are you looking forward to most this season coming up?
I'm just looking forward to racing the whole season, because I didn't hear about Doghouse. I think they only had like 7 races left, and it's an absolutely amazing league. I've never been a part of a league where we almost have 0 cautions every race, and everybody's respectful. We still put on a good show without all the wrecking. So I'm just looking forward to racing the whole season next season, and being, hopefully up there fighting for a championship.
Yeah, I remember you joining us last season. I can't remember if it was Tuesday nights or Thursday nights, but the second you came in, you were kind of a threat and put the league on notice that you were there to compete and there to win. So we're excited to see what you got coming this season. Definitely think you'll be up there near the top.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it, and I appreciate the league having me. I want to thank you guys, by the way, for putting on a show. I say it every time I get interviewed, but they have no idea how much work you guys put in behind the scenes to make these broadcasts work. So thank you for doing that. It's a lot of work. I know what it is, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, to be fair, I had no idea how much work it was too until we did it for the first time. So.
Oh yeah, dude, totally. And I still haven't really done it. I helped a guy out one night. He just last minute needed someone to help him, and that's when I realized how much work is actually going on behind the scene. It's not easy.
Yeah, for sure. Before I let you go, do you have any sponsors, teams that you want to plug?
Well, shout out to my teammates, F5 Racing or Motorsports. We're a new team, but the other 2 guys that I'm racing with are really good dudes, and they're really good. They have good racecraft, so I think we'll put on a good show this season. But I want to thank them for joining me this season. I want to thank Doghouse. I want to thank you guys and Ryko for the setup. And that's it. I'm gonna let you guys get on and interview. What do you got? Chris left?
We're gonna jump to St. Cour. I think he was a little late getting to the booth for us.
Copy that. Well, congrats to St. Cour, and congrats to Chris on the win, and we'll talk to you guys hopefully next week.
Yes, sir. We'll see you next week.
Congrats to you, Adam. Good job, man.
Thanks, brother. We'll talk to you.
That's Adam Thompson coming in second place here tonight. Fast car, fast all night. We're going to jump to our third place finisher, Andrew St. Cour, who was also very fast tonight. He was my pick to win. Andrew, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
We got you. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing after that finish?
A little disappointed in myself for moving down when I did and giving up that big run on the high side. But I really think, and I was just talking to Christopher in chat, and I said, if I had stayed high and didn't move down when Jonathan moved down, I think, well, 2 things. I didn't realize Jonathan had some nose damage, which I think was kind of slowing him down a bit. And if I had stayed high, Adam and Christopher were going to shoot under me anyway. And either way, I was just going to be a sitting duck. I think best case in that situation was 3rd place for me, and that's what I got. So yeah, it was a really fun run all night. Our team, very proud of the group. We worked really, really well together on and off pit road. Nice strategy there, coming out in the lead. And we just, we got a little anxious, I think, with a couple laps to go, thinking we had to push harder than we had to. And of course that caused an unforced error, which unfortunately collected a couple of guys. And then, that's what created the finish the way wait. So, but a good learning experience for 2 weeks from now. So really excited for the race in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, we will be right back here in 2 weeks. I noticed, I always notice every time I run here with you, you and Kevin Thompson always work super well together. Do you think that hurt you when he fell off there on that caution?
Yeah, well, did but essentially you need three, especially with this new draft package. And I know you probably noticed a difference tonight in the broadcast, and I don't know if you've done any race in the last couple of days since the patch came out, but there's a significant difference in the way the cars handle, the way really the way the draft works. Your speeds are pretty much the same. You're on a really good push. You're hovering around the 200, 198, 199. But you need two or three guys pushing really well to be able um, to hit that speed consistently. But the outside line, if you recall last season, the high side seemed to be more dominant, and you just can't get that dominance on the high side. We battled with I think Horn and Jennings for a number of laps side by side. They would inch out on us a bit, and then we were able to kind of force our way or push our way back on the inside, and then finally they did clear. And that but that was a lot. That was laps and laps of hard battling. In the past, it seemed like the high line you could just make it happen. So I think it's going to be. And then the other thing is, if you're going to go out on the high side by yourself or two cars, you're done. You're just going to fall to the back. You're definitely going to need a pack of cars, 3 to 4 at least, to go with you, I think, to do any sort of damage to the bottom line. So big difference from what it was.
Yeah, I've messed with it a little bit, but not really at super speedways. I try to stay away from super speedways because the bad luck always finds me. Kind of like on that last wreck there, it seemed like when everybody fell out behind you, it just kind of got caught out in no man's land with nobody behind you to give you that push.
Yeah, that's right. But we'll miss having you not out here this year. No, it was always fun racing with you. So, but happy to have you up here in the booth. I was listening to the broadcast, you and Hunter, in between our races, and I was really impressed with you guys are doing a great job. So well done.
We appreciate it. We're still learning every day. Before I let you go, is there any team sponsors that you want to plug?
Yeah, for sure. So I got to thank you see BMAC in the chat. I know you called her out there once or twice. That's actually my mother. So I got to call out my mother for thanks for watching. And I see Kev's father's in there, Sean. So it's always nice to see some family and friends watching the broadcast. Want to thank the team, thank Beast Mode Performance, all the folks on the team that help get these sets put together each week, and we'll be looking forward to having that camaraderie throughout the entire season. And thanks to the broadcast, and thanks for Daniel for putting on such a wonderful league. So thank you.
Yes, sir. We'll see you in 2 weeks here at Daytona. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, take care. Have a good night.
Good job, Andrew. Good run.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
And joining us up here in the booth is your race winner, Chris Simon, pushing his way all the way to the front there at the very end. Almost dramatic fashion there. Chris, you got us in the booth here, bud?
Yep, I gotcha.
Chris, that was incredible. Just want to start off with that.
Yep, it definitely was incredible. I had a massive run on the outside with Adam Thompson right behind me there. It was like I was just focused in front of me and in the back of me as well. Like having that mirror on in front of me, I was like, I need to stay focused and just ride my ride.
Yeah, you might have to buy him like a box of chocolates or some flowers after this race, man.
Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah, we saw you in the back earlier in this race, and we kind of flashed over to you. We're talking about it. You made huge leaps, and I'm not saying you were not good before, because you were very good before, but it's like your skill has increased exponentially from last year to now. Have you been doing anything different? Trying any new methods? What's been working for you? Because something's working really well for you.
I think for me, I think I just been like practicing more like in the tracks and all. Though I haven't been practicing much in the super speedways because I kind of got the gist of it for the most part. But it's always good to help. Always good to go out there and help practice drafting with others and all. And for my setup though, like it didn't work too well in the draft. That's probably why I stayed in the back for the most part. I just tried to move up slowly, like every position and all. But I was able to get a good pit stop. I mean, I was able to get out in the top 10 there, and I think that helped out a lot. Just pit strategy as well. Getting, yep.
Do you think it has anything to do with your new paint scheme?
It might. It's always like with new paint schemes, it gets me all like hyped up or get me amped up to do a new season with better results than the last season. So uh, I think so as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we had three keys coming in here tonight. One was to make friends and stay clean, and you did both of those things, and it showed out, and you worked your way to the front. We'll be back here in 2 weeks for the first race of the season. Anything you're looking to carry over? Any friends you made here that you're looking to work with?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna work with Adam Thompson there. If he needs help, I'll just help draft it with him, and along with others who have been helping me, especially my teammates with Jennings. Because if it weren't for him, like I think I would have been able to get up there as well. Because we were just behind the pack and all, and we were able to get up there at near the end when the caution came out at the last lap.
Yeah, we're definitely excited to see what you have to bring this season. Like I said, you finished pretty high up in the points last season in both leagues. Always a competitor every single week, and it's getting to the point in this league where everybody is a threat to win on any given night. Before I let you go, is there any sponsors, teams? I know you got a race team. You want to plug anybody?
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out my team at Shoney's Racing, Chris Leftwich, Mike Leftwich, and our new teammate Jonathan Jennings. Like, I really appreciate them a lot. It's great racing with them. And I want to shout out my family watching. They likely were watching. I'm not too sure how they reacted though, because I don't hear them from here. So I'll be sure to come down there and see what's up. And want to thank you guys for the broadcast. I do watch it every now and then, and you guys have been doing good. I liked it a lot, the broadcast.
Appreciate it. We're still growing and learning every single day, but congratulations on the win. Go get your family and pour a bottle of champagne on them or something. Go celebrate.
Yeah, if they drink, I don't drink though.
You don't have to drink it. You just got to splash everybody with it.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
So, and then also,
Sparkling apple juice, maybe.
yeah. Make sure you send
Yeah.
Thompson a nice message tonight. So,
Yep.
all right, man. Well, we'll see you not next week, but the week after here at Daytona.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun race. If it goes anything similar to how this race was, I'm gonna have a blast.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to it. Good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Chris. Great job.
Thank you. Have a good night, fellas.
You too. And there you have it for our race winner, Chris Simon, pulling it off in dramatic fashion, really pushing his way to the front. It's hard for me to switch cameras when great racing is going on like that because I'm more focused on the racing, but it's a learning process. We're still learning here. I can still use that excuse from now, but excited to see what this season has to bring. What did you think about this race tonight, Hunter?
Yeah, man, it was really exciting to watch. It was just we've been talking all night long about how crazy Daytona is, and especially when you have a group of drivers that are as talented as these guys are, and did such a great job of running this race clean and just really working according to the plan. Like, again, we were saying it earlier. You think Daytona, you think Freebird and the Bald Eagle, and there is so much strategy and planning that goes into this. Obviously, we were just talking to Chris, who was talking about how he was working his plan as this race was going on, but to see those exciting finishes, that's obviously unfortunate for those guys that got caught up in that last second caution there. But to see people that just really worked their strategy and saw it come to fruition there at the end, man, if the rest of the season is going to be anything like this, then it's one to not miss.
I don't think it's going to miss a bit. There's so much good competition and talent inside of this league, and like I was saying with Chris earlier, it seems like everybody in this league has the ability to win. I'm actually looking at the iRating numbers that these people get from racing official races, and not everybody races a lot of official races, which I think says more, but they are some very high numbers. This is what you would call a top split group of guys right here who are just giving it all they got, try to win this series.
Absolutely. And we do want to make sure that we say for the final time a huge shout out to our sponsors here. They're going to be with us for this season that help us bring these broadcasts out to you. This is a production of many here that is helped by the sponsors and the guys that run this league. So shout out to everybody, especially, but big shout out to Group 6. They are the Cup Series sponsor. This will be the Group 6 Cup Series that we are bringing you here. Make sure that you rev up your brand's potential with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse Racing season. As your creative marketing powerhouse, they're here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. You can discover more at group6inc.com. That is GROUP, the number 6, INC.com. And you also heard the mention there of the Shoney's race team. They are not just a race team here in this league. They are also a sponsor for the Doghouse Racing League. The Doghouse Racing League is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Be sure to stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's has been bringing you delicious food and friendly service since 1947.
Yeah, and there's just another shout out to all of our other sponsors that help the league go and keep the league going, for us, I should say. SSR Design, True Patriot, we have Trackmania, Butt Kicker, and Auto Pro Service. Auto Pro is actually sponsoring our Sunday night series. If you're listening and want to get involved in iRacing, Sunday nights we have the Truck Series that is starting, I believe, this week. Might be next week for the Truck Series. And Auto Pro is going to be sponsoring that. And on Tuesday nights, we are racing in the Gen 4 cars. And this will be broadcasted on Tuesdays by Intensity Broadcasting. Sunday nights will be under Doghouse Racing TV. Make sure you like and subscribe us here. Tuesday nights will be under Intensity Broadcasting, longtime broadcaster of the league. He does a fantastic job. We take notes on what he does. So shout out to him.
And then Thursday nights, you will be able to catch us. You're bringing you the Group 6 Cup Series here in 2 weeks again at Daytona. Again, here's your final placements and final finishers for this race. You had Chris Simon bringing home that number 1 spot. Adam Thompson, the 2. Andrew St. Core bringing home 3rd place. Justin McMahon bringing up 4th. Kevin Powell 5th. Jonathan Jennings 6th. Jenny Horn 7. Chris Leftwich 8. Gary Clune 9. Brian Messer in the 10th spot. Nicholas Maynard bringing up the 11th spot. Nicholas Shell in 12th. Eric Anderson 13. Brian Dixon 14. Michael Dow 15. Josh Cully bringing up 16th. Kermit Henney, the newcomer, in 17th. And Cameron King in 18th. As we shuffle down a little bit here. We've got Bill Gentry. Got Bill Gentry bringing up 19th, Tyler Millette in 20th, Eric Warman 21st, Gary Armijo 22nd, Nick Alford 23rd, Stephen Wood 24th, Daniel Wilkerson 25th, Zach Tyler 26th, Bill Hull 27th, Kevin Thompson 28th, and Stephen Bonomo in the 29th position.
I believe that is going to do it here for all of us here at Doghouse Racing TV, brought to you by Nap Daddy Racing Broadcasting. We'll be back at Daytona in 2 weeks on Thursday night starting at 8 o'clock. Will not be a heat format. The boys will go out there, practice, qualify, have a short warm-up, and then send it for a full feature. And this will be the first points race of the season. So we're looking forward to seeing who's going to take the checker flag. Can Christopher Simon do it again? Go back-to-back? Is it going to be St. Core that's going to get some redemption? Or somebody like Justin McMahon or Brian Messer even going to jump up and take the lead and get that first one of the season? We'll find out in about 2 weeks here at Doghouse Racing TV. But with that said, I've been John. This has been Hunter.
Thank you all for joining.
We'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.